I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. And people, ding dong, the bitch is dead. That Jeffrey Epstein bitch is dead. Ha ha! Yep, Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide while he was on suicide watch. Wait a minute. Is it irony or murder? Okay, here's what happened. And it happened in New York, a place with absolutely no corruption and everything is on the up and up. Yeah, New York is so bad they invented murder nicknames. Whacked, Grease, New Jersey, Divorce, Cement Shoes, One Way Ride, Made in My Bones, and Ann Coulter. Now, I don't know either, but it was on the list. Thank you, internets. So, Jeffrey Epstein had been arrested again for raping underage girls. He's in prison, and a couple of weeks ago, he attempted suicide, or someone attempted to force suicide upon him. Yeah, he was allergic to suicide, so me and the boys tried to cure him of his allergies. But Epstein survived. Then they put him under suicide watch. But I think we misunderstood that they forgot some punctuation. It wasn't suicide watch, it was, hey, suicide? Watch. Now, Epstein killed himself on a Saturday morning. Man, he didn't even sleep in. Even in death, this guy was a go-getter. Man, if I was going to take the big sleep, I think I would have slept in. So, regarding Epstein's suicide, here is what was reported. The cameras in the cells glitched. The guards were on coffee break. Some of them weren't really guards. He had been taken off suicide watch, and the dog ate my homework. I didn't see the sign, officer. My speedometer's broken, and I promise I'll pull out. That was in the official report from Bill Barr, the Attorney General. You know, the only thing missing from this hit is Marlon Brando spilling fucking oranges. So, we have a guy that ran a sex trafficking organization, had a sex island, and has pictures with all the most famous and powerful sexual deviants worldwide. Actors, politicians, billionaires, royalty, captains of industry. So, if this guy cut a deal and had testified, he had the goods on everybody. He might have made you hate Woody Allen movies even more. Now, Epstein could have taken down the biggest, richest, most powerful people in the world. So why would someone want him dead? It doesn't make sense, right? It was reported on Tuesday that people heard screaming and shouting from his cell before they found him suicided. Yeah, because when you want to secretly kill yourself, always scream, "Help me! I'm killing me! You're crazy, me! Stop hurting me, me!" You know, probably the most important high-profile criminal connected to the rich and powerful is Al Capone.
You know you're a fucking mumbling, stuttering little fuck, you know that?
A man who we have video of him with the president and testimony from a victim that claims Donald Trump raped her when she was 13 at this dude's house. Yeah, they left that guy alone in a DOJ-ran jail, a guy who was supposed to be on suicide watch. Okay, now you know I have friends in New York, and not all of them are florists or own hot dog carts. And I asked them what they thought really happened to Jeffrey Epstein. You know what they said? Titus, he fell. Why are you asking so many questions? So just so you know, after this shows, if I kill myself, please look into it. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Coming up next, Greg Grunberg. See you in a minute. All right, guys. Hey, everybody. Christopher Titus Podcast. Oh, yeah, we roll it. When someone starts with that much personality, I just go, we're going to start weird this week.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I was sitting like this.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Well, cut to me. Cut to me. Always cut to me and Greg.
Okay, got it.
And then we're going to show you. So now that you said that, now I have to show you just staring stupidly at your computer. Guys, Titus Podcast, episode 402. You know, we have a guy with me who honestly, I could say I followed your career, but I don't. The reason I want you here is because you're a straight up good, funny dude. Like I'm one of those people, show business people. I've never, ever been impressed by show business because show business to me is always, it's what I do. It's what I've done since I was 19. I always like, oh, he's a good person. Like Dana Carvey, not only brilliant, good person.
Yeah.
Greg Grunberg, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank
say hi
you.
to the people.
Thank you so much. By the way, have you seen Dana Carvey's special?
The new one?
Oh, it's
the new one?
Oh my God. Maybe it's not that new. I've seen it a couple times now. I just was on a plane and I downloaded it and watched it.
Right.
He's so brilliant. It's ridiculous how funny he is.
My God.
God.
When I started comedy, I got to work with Dana a bunch of times. I was his opening act.
By the way, I'm Rachel Bradley. I just
Oh, by
wanted
the
to
way,
say
sorry.
and then we can move forward. Thank you, Greg.
With us is always the lovely Bombshell
Asshole.
Ray. I'm sorry, Mr. Asshole. Thank you.
Or as I like to refer to you as the ratings machine.
Exactly.
Because this is why people. Yeah, come
Thank
on.
you. I like him.
See?
I know he's awesome.
Wait,
You are,
so
by the way, they're
open for
people.
him?
So I got to so he did this weird sitcom years ago in the 80s with Mickey Rooney. There's a weird sitcom 4-camera with Mickey Rooney. And then did an hour-long series Blue Thunder after.
Of course.
He did it. Okay. So it's after that. He hasn't got Saturday Night Live yet. He's working in the Bay Area, Sunnyvale, and I got to work with him a bunch of times. And Dana, I still to this day tell comedians stuff that Dana told me when I started.
I bet.
I still use one of the best things I told her. She's been doing comedy 10 years now. When she started with me, and he would say, one time I asked him, I go, all right, I go to watch my show, and he goes, stop. Do you really want me to watch your show and tell you what I think, or do you want me to tell you you're good? And
Right.
I was like, well, I was raised with my dad. Tell me what you think, because that's what I'm used to.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just don't hit me in the back of the head, because we don't know each other that well.
Yeah.
So he said, I would do the show, and he goes, and I tell every performer this. When you're on live stage, I go, what do you think? He goes, well, you don't look at the audience. And I'm like, I'm looking at him the whole time. He goes, no, you're looking over him. He goes, you're watching the back wall.
Interesting.
He goes, here's what I want you to do the next show. He said, I want you to do your setup to one person, punchline to the room. Setup to another person, punchline
Brilliant.
to the room.
Wow.
And he goes, what? So what it does is, what that does is, the person you're looking at is instantly in the show for the rest of the show. The 3 people around him think you're looking at them, so they're in the show. And if you can look at everybody in the face by the end of your set, you'll destroy.
I have people say that to me a lot after a show. You talk to me most of the night. Remember, and I'm like, yeah, thanks, Dana
Thank
Carvey.
you, Dana Carvey.
Yeah, but that doesn't work today. You're playing places where there's 4,000, 5,000 people.
Well,
you better have a lot of jokes if you're gonna connect with everybody. In the
I do 4.5 hours.
Exactly. By the end of the show, everybody thinks I'm having a personal conversation.
We raise a lot of money for charity in my shows.
He told me when I had just started out that what he does whenever he goes on stage is he always, and this is great for acting, everything.
He told us this was awesome.
Is that he always pretends that he's in front of his high school class and his teacher just left the room and he's playing with these people.
Oh, interesting.
Class clown. And so he's always having more fun than anyone else in the room.
That's good.
So I say that to myself every time before
And
I
kind
go
of
on
being
stage.
bad too. We saw him at Flappers, and by the way, people, if you need to know one of the best comics I've ever worked with and seen is Dana Carvey. And the thing is, what he does did you notice on special? The ease.
Oh yeah.
Like he's not even working
At
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
He does a thing where he does this wobble thing, and then he just takes his time.
Yeah.
And he's enjoying his own show as
Yes.
much as everybody
Yes.
else.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's the joy.
We saw him working on this special that I'm guessing that is this the same
Is this
one?
brand new? I'm gonna check because I didn't know we put a new
Did
special.
it just come out?
No, because I've seen it a few times.
Is this the one where he's doing all the
president?
presidents talking to each other about
Yes.
Trump? Okay, that's his last special. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
working on a new one now. We saw him work out material. He just hand the audience who'd go pick one, and he would the premise, and they would pick one, and he would do the premise.
Right.
Bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like he talks about his kid. We were talking about my sons and stuff, and he just, where it's like, bullshit. This is bullshit. Like just this generation where
Yeah.
you ask them to do anything, if there's any effort involved at all, it's
That's
just
actually peasy. That's
Yeah,
really,
exactly.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
tell.
Although he'll sit at the computer and design graphics all day, the best shit you've ever seen.
Right.
But I go, hey, Peasy, man, can we eat I gotta be there. We got great committee. Can we eat the garbage is emptied and the cockroaches swept up?
Did you call it garbages?
I did say garbages. That's plural of
Perfect.
garbage.
Luggages?
Garbage.
Yeah, luggages.
Oh my God. So
Epstein.
friend of ours,
Go ahead,
wait,
go
you got to
ahead.
hear this. This
All
is crazy. And then we have to talk about Epstein because I loved the intro.
Just new info since I recorded the Armageddon update.
Oh, you do have new info.
Today as I was driving in.
Okay.
Wow.
No, but somebody, friends of ours in Calabasas, and these are people in Calabasas, okay?
Right.
And I live in Woodland Hills.
Right.
I just want to delineate. It's very important.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, exactly. It really came far.
You must really like us.
No, but they said they have 2 Mercedes, and they were like, make sure you we wash the Mercedes. And I was like,
They didn't really say that.
this is through a friend. And I was like, they referred to their Mercedes in there's more than one, so we're going to go Mercedes. I lost it. I thought you would appreciate that. I was like, that's absolutely
I'd
absurd.
be like, hey man, I really like you guys, but we can't really be friends anymore. You've actually now dropped to acquaintance.
Totally.
These are people I know.
Right.
Mercedes?
Right.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. So you saw the Armageddon update. It's a little fishy. Is it a little fishy to you? Did the whole thing
Well,
seem
first of all, Barr comes out with this statement, and I'm talking about a bad actor. Like, he's horrible.
Bad, yeah.
Horrible. And then I got all these people, including Scott Paterno, who's a dear friend, and I played him in the Paterno movie. You know,
Right.
this
Oh,
is
yeah.
Joe Paterno's
Yeah.
son.
You were awesome in that, by the way.
Thank you. He is, though, he's a great guy, and we couldn't be on we're so opposite as far as our views, our political views. I should say, well, not really, exactly.
So you
but
just don't talk about it, really.
Well, no, I mean, he's very intelligent. He's a very intelligent guy.
So,
Anyway,
so he doesn't yell at you. He doesn't go, fuck you.
no.
Okay, good,
no.
good,
It's a
good.
conversation, which is what it should be, right?
Right. Smart people have those.
Yes. But some people get attacked a lot.
True.
Yes, and I love how you come back, man. It's I enjoy your Twitter feed more than maybe anybody's. I really do.
She's shaking you
not
off.
encourage
She's
it?
waving you off like a third base coach. Don't
No, but my wife, my family, the same thing. They're like, stop.
Is yours
No
as
one
bad
gives
as
a shit
his?
what you think. But you know what I do?
Your wife says
Yes, and I go, guess what? Christopher Titus is doing it for me.
Yeah.
So I don't have to. And sometimes, I don't know if you notice, I will heart your stuff. I will retweet your stuff because you have balls, man. I don't know if I'm making any sort of a dent, and I don't feel like people really give a shit. When you say something, dude, it's retweeted a million times, and there's so many comments, and there's so many great stuff. When I do, people are just like, eh. So it's not worth it for me. It's not worth it.
I'm way more of I have access to my inner asshole more than you. Like, I'm really like, here's what I can't stand. I'm really lucky in this country because I'm a DF student, and I got my dream job, and I became great at it, and now I make money at it, and I've been doing that for 35 years.
Right.
Like this, there's not a lot of countries that you can do that in. You know, you're going to be put somewhere. You can do, and
That's true.
And so I love this country. That's why the flag is behind me, because all these right-wing guys are they've co-opted the flag like you're American. I'm sorry. No. We're all American.
I know, but they're so you've a huge part of your fan base is middle America, man. Everybody loves you, and all of a sudden they're like, "What? Right. What are you talking? How could you not agree with us?
Right.
How could you not be as stupid as we are? I don't understand."
The great thing is that they followed my ideas and liked my ideas for like 25 years, and now they're like, "Well, you don't know what you're talking about."
Right.
Really? So you're wearing a Titus t-shirt. What are you talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So we've all gotten a little nutty, and I think it comes down to facts. So that's why if you'll notice I tweet out a lot of facts. I'm like, oh, here's the article, here's the backup, and then they either delete their tweet or block me, which is fine. When you block me, I win.
That's true.
But more people have come on the podcast specifically because of the Twitter than they're like,
Richard Marks of all people. We just had
Kathy
Richard
Griffin
Marks on
came,
because they met on Twitter being angry together.
You knew Kathy before.
No, Richard Marks.
Oh, Richard Marks. Singer Richard Marks?
Yes.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
30 million record selling Richard Marks.
Same level of anger and irate as he is. And after he left the podcast, I would say he upped the ante about 10%.
Yeah, he did. In fact, he actually DM'd me the other day. He's like, Daisy says, what do I do? What do I do when people are so bad? I should just block them. Do you mute or do you block? I go, I block them and tell them I'm blocking them. Yeah, I go. By the way, you don't get to hear me anymore. Done.
Exactly. And I don't want to hear you.
Exactly.
I don't care about your comments.
So you are no longer allowed to talk to me.
Yeah.
That's how I own it. I'm not going to just mute you. I'm not going to puss out. No, faggot. We're not talking.
By the way, most of those people will say to you, I'm not following you anymore. They don't unfollow you. No. They do it, right. And then they don't follow through with it because they still want to be part of that conversation to be angry. But so Anthony Barr comes out with this thing. Epstein, so Scott Paterno, he's like, do you really think someone murdered him? Like, do you really believe that? And I said, first of all, absolutely.
100%.
Yes, but I also believe that he may have, like, this guy cannot live anywhere near the life that he had, either in prison or out of prison, when that stuff came out the day before. Right. So he may have, I don't know, orchestrated it, sort of paying off everybody and saying, you got to turn this shit off. I'm going to kill myself. Like, I don't know. The warden just got suspended.
The warden lost his job. The guards have hired attorneys. That happened today. As I'm coming over, the two guards that were sleeping. So I just want to break this down.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are probably the biggest git when it comes to some criminal activity since Al Capone. I said in the Army update, you have people, royalty, you have world leaders, you have the billionaires, captains of industry,
politicians, governors,
everybody,
presidents,
presidents, people that have different reputations, actors. That's what I say in the thing. I'm like, dude, he's gonna make you even hate Woody Allen movies.
That was so funny, man.
wrong. But,
no, that's so good. It's so true.
But
Woody Allen's on that list.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is that and so there's no way the guy can live. We've got the Saudis. He's got friends with. He's got pictures with bin Salman. The dude knows everybody, and no one can figure out how he makes his money.
That's weird.
No one can figure out how he made all this money. I can.
Right. Well, it wasn't as a day trader. Like he was a day trader, right? And then all of a sudden, I mean, what was it? Was it drugs? Was it? I mean,
we know now because he had a madam, and what he was charged with is sex trafficking. So he ran a whole.
Can't make that much money doing that.
Come on!
No way! Heidi Fleiss didn't own an island.
No,
she owned a
getting
condo.
a former president, a 12-year-old girl to feed his fantasy and covering it up. How much would that be worth?
Okay, so this is not Heidi Fleiss. This is not adult women having sex.
Right.
This is a guy who basically supplied teenagers, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old girls to the richest people in the world.
Kept them in a stable, basically on an island that you could go to.
And another place in Arizona that they raided.
Yeah, that's true. So this isn't a guy doing something and then they classify it as sex trafficking. This guy is a sex trafficker.
Yes.
Right.
This is what he did.
Exactly.
This was his
many
industry.
Many lanes.
The madam was actually, she would recruit them.
And she's disappeared, by the way.
Yes,
they can't find her. They don't know where she is.
Keep them on this island on drugs and stuff so they can't get away. And if you have that fetish and you're wealthy or famous, where do you go to feed that fetish?
And you've been around big money. What's $100,000? Because someone said there was a number. It was like to be part of this was the initial buying was like 180. That's what I hear. By the way, this is all hearsay comedians talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't kill me.
I mean, 180. I had a coupon. So actually,
see a Groupon, the Jeffrey Epstein Groupon.
Right.
By the way, for 95,
I created an app back in the day.
You're
Do you
later.
remember that?
You don't get first. You have your later. You're way later.
That's right.
You're in a line outside. How's it going, Bill? What's going on? Woody, how you doing?
The cameras were down. Both, not one, but two guards were asleep.
Sleeping. One of them wasn't even a guard.
And they falsified records to make it look like and he had just tried to kill himself. He was supposed to be on suicide watch, and they removed his cellmate from his cell, which they typically would have someone in the cell with him, and they left everything in the cell that he could kill himself with.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I told him, 49 different hitmen showed up all at once to kill him, and they were like, Bob, what are you doing here?
Laundry comes around, and his sheets are already tied in a noose.
Who are you working for? Woody, who you working for?
Bill.
Al.
Right. Yeah.
So there was a list. So this guy, either he's like, I'm fucked no matter what happens. I'm either going to stay in prison, and if I get into Gen Pop, I'm done anyway.
See, I don't agree with that. Because I would... conspiracy theory, part 2.
Oh, no, we're deep. We're like...
Yeah.
Former president, current president.
I didn't get
pictures, video. We should all be wearing tinfoil hats. Pictures, video. We know that they were together even after the time that he was accused and indicted in Florida. So why would he think that he wouldn't be pardoned? I very strongly believe that he knew he'd get off if he just...
I didn't think about that,
Yeah.
And he's got if he just
I don't think he killed himself is what
If he just shut up, the president would have pardoned him. Based on... The problem is it's all shady. Costa left. It's the shadiest, worst shit that ever happened. And like you said, Barr, just want everybody to know we're upset.
I was so angry when I heard.
We're appalled. Are you appalled?
Appalled? Really?
Really? The worst guy in the world just got basically suicided in his cell.
Unbelievable. So bad. And then
it's a DOJ prison too, by the way.
DOJ prison, and the previous sentence when he was in, it wasn't even Club Fed.
Yeah.
It was like
12 hours.
12 hours. He was able to go home and all that stuff. And you think about it, they were saying, okay, he was still molesting young women and assaulting young women while he was serving that time.
He still had that going on.
I don't even think it was. Now that you're putting all this in my head, he wasn't. He was still running his business of servicing people. The thing that's really crazy is there are that many people that want underage girls. What the fuck is
we
going
have
on?
We have
man?
had this discussion over and over. Like what is it about you that you need to like little girls? Like, what is your fucking kink, bro?
I know.
Like,
I don't get it.
No, I don't get it.
I really, really don't get it. I'm glad I don't have any girls.
I'm really glad to hear that from both of you.
No,
today, because had you said you
Seriously,
get it,
I would tell you in a second if I was like, wow, yeah, boy, those 11-year-olds.
What about a woman
he
that's
said
asleep?
something.
How do you feel about that?
That's just that's just disgusting.
Narcolepsy.
It's like,
It depends how asleep.
How asleep.
That's somebody that's been married.
Is there mumbling?
Wants me to shut
Is there mumbling?
Exactly.
Is there? Come on. Is that going on, or is it Cosby asleep?
Yeah, seriously.
You don't want to be Cosby asleep. He said something. There was an interview. I was pulling up stuff because I knew I was going to do that yesterday, and I was pulling up articles. And there's an article of a guy who met with him. From the New York Times, I think it was New York Times, and he was interviewing him about something else, totally something different. And Epstein, like, kind of a lonely dude, you know, and he said that
really.
No,
so
he wanted
surprising.
to hang out. No, he didn't have any like buds really, and so the guy he kept
really surprising.
He kept calling this guy. Well, because he's supplying these other guys. They don't want to be. They know what he does. They want to be associated.
Right.
They'll still show up at the island.
Yeah, he's a drug dealer.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
there you go.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
Just give me my shit. Let me have my stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to socialize with you.
So in the middle of this article where he's interviewing this guy about Epstein about something else, Epstein goes, man, this whole thing goes throughout history. It's been fine for men to have sex with younger women.
The New York Times
It's
article.
been fine.
Yes.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about?
I couldn't believe it. I just read it.
I-
And he says, I have dirt on everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he just laid it out.
Yeah.
He was like
That's
proud
your-
of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dude.
And by the way, you don't say that.
By the way, the
if
warden,
you might get caught.
Right.
the warden was not fired. He was transferred to a Philly prison. So he's not fired yet.
Oh, I thought he got fired. Okay. Well, he's not fired. So,
I guarantee
So they-
you this
so
is
they-
going to end up in court and the judge is going to be Trump's sister. You know, Trump's sister is a judge.
I know.
Like-
But I thought she stepped down because she was
she
being
got some
charged with a bunch of stuff.
I think she stepped out because she got it was a $50 million some $50 million thing.
misappropriation of funds. Just oopsie.
Oh.
Just
Their
disappeared.
father raised them well, didn't
Oh,
he?
yeah,
Their father
absolutely.
and grandfather's like, here's what you do.
Right.
So yes, he continued to do the crimes because we talked about this on a previous episode where when they were about to charge him, he was on the island. He had a 50-pound carpet extractor shipped to his home in New York and a
Tile
100-pound shredder.
Oh,
So-
my God.
that
Yes.
didn't just pull the carpet up. It actually shredded the
Pulled
carpet so you
liquid
could
out of it.
pull liquid out of it. You couldn't. It was carpet extractor and then a tile. They broke basically when all this happened. He basically fucking cleaned out his house
Unbelievable.
down to the tile. Like what do you?
I mean, that's down to the studs.
How CSI are you getting, dude?
Right.
What are you doing with these girls, bro?
And you
We're gonna
gotta
see
lay
it.
on it.
Yeah, we're going to see it on an episode of House Hunters. You're going to be walking
Hi, welcome
through.
to the Epstein mansion. Hey, it's
Full
a,
disclosure.
it's a fixer.
Yeah, it's a
and no
fixer-upper.
black lights. Do not bring in a black light, for God's
Exactly.
sakes. Sorry. So we know. Look, guys.
Ugh.
Here's what we know. We know it's shady as hell. We know now. Now our government, who knows it's shady, and it's so ham-fisted. Like it's such a ham-fisted. The guys were like, okay. So now we got the warden's gone. We got two guys that were guards who weren't guards. They're gone.
Yeah.
And they're getting blamed. It's not going to stop. On top of that, they did it after he'd already released the names. There's like supposed to be 2,000 or 2,500 pages of documents.
Oh, my God.
They found in his safe.
This happened the day after they announced
yes.
that.
Right.
It's very coincidental.
They found in his safe, they found CD-ROMs with pictures that had lists and stuff, like names on them.
It's the untouchables.
Yeah.
It's like we got the bookkeeper.
Yeah, right.
So let's
Mhm.
kill the fucking bookkeeper. We got to kill because he'll be able to translate all those codes.
Well-
He'll tell us when that happened, how much what that actually
So
meant.
Rachel's criminal justice, and I turned to her and I'm like, "What?" I go, "What does this mean?" And she said, "Case is over," and she goes, "It's over now because now they have plausible deniability because Jeffrey Epstein is dead.
Right.
You don't have Jeffrey Epstein selling them out and going, yeah, no, I was there. He did
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah, right. So it's kind of over.
Well, the case closes because they didn't have charges against anyone else. But then when Barr did his Oscar-worthy performance,
Yeah.
he did say, we're going to prosecute anyone.
But
Exactly.
that's the bad acting.
Exactly.
He's lying.
Yes.
He's so full of shit.
But it'll just go away.
So how does it end, guys? How does all of this bullshit end? Because it's all tied to Trump. Like, it's all tied to him. How can you organize this much slime
Right.
I can't keep slime in a cup.
Exactly.
It somehow oozes out, and they've been able to organize it all and keep it in the. I don't understand.
But couldn't get Hillary elected. All this stuff is fake against Trump, but still couldn't get Hillary elected.
True.
And here's when I knew it was the shadiest thing in the world. We have the president of the United States tweeting out that, Clinton body count. Motherfucker, you're the president. Like, why? Do you ever remember? I don't remember Carter going, Reagan's doing hookers.
Seriously.
I don't remember.
A former president. But so you retweeted someone that I saw that said, I didn't think Trump did it until he tweeted that someone else did it.
Right. Well, that's the thing. So every single thing that Donald Trump tweets out about other people, it's all about himself.
Exactly.
Every time he does, you just if you just swap out that person's name for me, for the word me, it tells you what's going on in his life.
Exactly.
What about him getting involved where it's just let shit go? Don't jump on top of this Chris Cuomo thing. What the fuck are you doing?
What are you like?
Is Fredo? I didn't know that calling someone a Fredo is like using the N word. I had no idea.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
I'm not Italian. Our president is like a bad, shitty blogger.
Do you want to know something?
He's like a bad blogger.
He's a bad retweeter. Really bad retweeter.
Do you want to know something really dumb? This is a very blonde moment, but until you just said Fredo out loud, I have never seen the Godfather movies. It's become a real point of contention on this podcast. I know. Do not cut to his face.
Cut to his face.
No,
that's just my. By the way,
Look, I know.
I'm holding you in your chair because every time she says it, everybody goes, "What?"
Because until this point, I was thinking it was a Lord of the Rings reference because he's short.
Oh my
Not
God.
Frodo.
Not Frodo. First of all, Chris Cuomo is anything but short.
Is he?
No, Chris. He's just.
I know he's big.
Oh my,
massive
and built. And just so brilliant. Yeah. I mean, really,
that
guy is a smart
But I
dude.
thought he must be short if someone's calling him Frodo and he got mad.
Fredo.
That's hilarious.
So Rachel's a lot younger than I am, and this is not the first time this has happened.
Fredo is a character.
They called him Frito-Lay, and he was like, look, no.
He's not a small Mexican that eats chips. That's not what he is.
Right,
Frito
exactly.
Bandito. There was a place called, by the way, here's how racist we used to be. There was a thing called the Frito Bandito.
Oh, yeah, Frito Bandito.
Do you remember when you were a kid?
Yeah, remind me.
The Frito-Lay potato chips, the corn chips. I am the Frito Bandito. There was a song.
I just got back from North Carolina
we were
on
racist.
vacation.
Dude, how about, hey, what do you want to go to for breakfast? Let's go to Sambo's.
We have Bojangles, and it's still there.
Bojangles is still
so bad.
Still
that
there.
stuff is so bad.
Every time we drove by it
really
last
racist.
week, he was like, really?
Oh, it's just, and by the way, in Santa Barbara, that Sambo's was there forever. I think they finally changed the name.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. I took my family up there, and I was like, "Oh my God,
no!"
Did they get rid of Aunt Jemima?
No, Aunt Jemima's still around.
It is.
I think so.
In the same Black Lady bottle.
Well,
that's not okay. Don't buy that.
No.
Well, they're gonna redesign it. It's gonna look a lot more like Kim Kardashian.
Do you remember that it was
same figure?
Do you remember it was that big glass bottle and it was
It was a slave woman who had
said
syrup
this
inside
before,
of her.
Right.
But in my lifetime, where I lived in North Carolina, there were KKK billboards. They were all riding horses with the hoods on, and it said "Welcome to KKK country," and that was when I was little. So in my lifetime.
Wow.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
So we've all seen it. All right. So now I'll talk about. Okay, we're good with this. Epstein. We know he got killed, and I'll never.
Let me throw this out because this is actually an upside,
new?
which we so rarely have. I saw this on the news before I left. They just passed that law overnight in New York. Did you hear about that? I'm telling you, Letitia James is going to be our savior.
Yeah. What was I saw this too.
So they have now, because before victims of sexual predators were barred by a statute of limitations, and now that's been lifted. All victims have 1 year window to file, and it would be for civil suits.
1 year from the crime?
1 year from now. They've opened it up. Everyone. So
for everything,
it's a 1 year window to file a civil lawsuit against alleged perpetrators and included
I'm
institutions.
confused though. When does that 1 year start?
I believe now, as it passed
basically
overnight.
They gave people like
they've reopened
just for this case.
Or
no, they listed Boy Scouts, Catholic Church. So as of this
so they're
morning,
saying right now,
yes,
everybody has 1 year to come out.
No statute of limitations.
We've got a 1 year recall on sexual predators.
Wow.
That's good.
So as of this morning, Epstein people have filed civil lawsuits. There have been several Catholic Church lawsuits filed. And these are the people that we saw giving interviews that were saying, well, I couldn't do anything because I was too afraid to come out when I was younger, and they're 55 now. They have this time now.
That's good.
Good. We need this. This needs to be taken down.
There's a lot that needs to be taken
Now that we talked about child predators and suspicious killings, Let's talk about Greg Grunberg. So I just want to know. So I just got out of the gym. I came here to get cleaned up. He's supposed to be here at 11:30. Mm-hmm. He's here at 10:58. And I walk in, I look like I came out of a prison camp. He's like, "Hey, he's going, Titus." Dude, fuck. So I get ready. I wasn't pretty enough for you.
That's sort of my. I can't believe it's actually becoming, sort of my thing. Like, and I'm not
in LA for an actor. It's the annoying thing.
It is, but you can't show up late to a set.
That's true.
There's no chance. You always have to give yourself a buffer.
Early is great.
Right.
Showing up to two comedians
doing
early
a podcast
is just a nightmare.
Yeah, sorry.
he actually called me. I was in my car and I couldn't hear him, so I hung up. And then he called back and he goes, "Greg is early. Where are you?"
But here's the thing, dude. It's me. It's me.
I know.
So you mentioned how you felt when you met me. The same thing. I met you and I was like, okay, file that guy away. I want to stay close to you, dude. There's not many people that are just real and sincere and smart and funny. And I was like,
here.
yeah. So
and there's a lot of people that don't like those people.
That's very true.
But then again, I have this other side of me that's kind of
He's read your Twitter feed and he still likes you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a keeper.
That's right. That's right. I'm living vicariously through you now, and I'm still saving birds. I don't know if you saw it yesterday.
I did. I tweeted out. We saved a puppy bird.
Yeah, I couldn't believe. So I, of course, being a moron, but the guy that loves to work on his own house. We have this huge tree that's hanging over our pool, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do something about it. So I get up on the roof, and I have that long extender, and I'm sawing, I'm doing the whole thing, and all these branches are coming down, but they're coming down slowly. And then, of course, yesterday morning, a little teeny fledgling bird, and I was like, oh no. I mean, that's the one thing. A cat, a dog, a squirrel. I don't know what to do with any this. I was like, what do you do? And I didn't even recognize it's a hummingbird. It was a hummingbird.
Oh, wow. It was
baby
tiny.
Yeah. So so I sent it out on Twitter, and Kelly Martin, who I've worked with and is the sweetest, she was like, okay, here's what you do. And the place was like, so I sent my son, I called them the California Wildlife Organization, and he brought it over there, which I know it's funny. It's awesome. Like, really? Yeah. I need a job. Anyway,
but every woman just melted.
Yeah.
So, I was over here like, oh
my God.
He also drove by the entire homeless problem downtown LA for an audition. But that hummingbird's going to make it.
Exactly. Find a good spot, fella.
We are so California. Oh my God, hummingbird's going to die.
No, I know. But so my point was that I sent it out on Twitter, right? And Kelly responded right away. So I jumped on it. But then like 50-something people, and half of them were like, it's going to die. The mother just got pushed out of the nest. Fuck that bird. Don't try and feed it. And then I'm feeding it milk. Don't feed it milk. Oh, sugar water. Milk's going to kill it. And then I put a little, like my son made a little thing out of, it thinks that's a nest. It's trying to get into the milk. What are you doing? I mean, you cannot fucking win.
No, never. Not on social media at all.
No.
Negativity feels like power. That's why. Negativity feels like you're doing something. And that's why I said, you saved that puppy bird. That's what I yelled at.
I lost my mom, and I had people attack me for how sad I was. That it was inappropriate, my level of sadness.
Yeah, you're grieving.
Like,
right. It's enough already. Get over it.
It's just your mom.
Come on.
Wow.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So let's talk about this. Post-production, we are in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
What?
No, he can't talk about it. He signed an NDA.
No,
with you guys? Fuck it.
Yeah, we're not on. Don't have cameras and microphones.
Exactly.
He met Mark Hamill through Twitter, and Mark Hamill said the same thing, that his wife was like, you're horrible. You're going to piss everybody off. And he said, I showed my wife his Twitter feed, and she was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Now Mark's outspoken. Mark is outspoken, but another smart guy.
Good guy though, man.
Good guy.
I wanted to talk about. I don't want to talk about Star Wars. I want to talk about Corvette Summer. I keep telling them. I said I want you to come on, and I want to talk about Corvette Summer. I have an idea for Corvette Summer too. It's one of my favorite, like, fun 80s, like, and Annie Potts is awesome.
It's a car Porky's. I mean, let's go.
Car Porky's. Porky's was another movie.
You don't know Porky's.
Yeah, it was not Porky Pig. Have
you seen the Blues Brothers? Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm glad I was
No,
early.
Don't go.
No, but I did listen to Blues Traveler in high school.
No.
Fat guy with a harmonica.
No, there was a harp. There's Blues Traveler. There's a harp.
Very similar.
Yeah.
See?
Blues Brothers is one of the greatest movies, I think, ever made.
Yep.
And
comedies,
Comedies, more cars destroyed in that movie than I've ever seen. More police cars, certainly.
Yeah.
It's such a great film. You have to see it. Like, I'm just trying to get Untouchables. Did you see The Untouchables?
Sure.
Oh my God. Come on.
Okay, so let me tell
This
you
was
something.
not a conversation you had before dating?
No, no.
I'm not a
So-
big fan of movies. I'm
No,
also
no,
afraid
I'm
to
sorry.
say that to you
No,
because
let's
it's going to
go.
I'm outta here.
explode.
Let's
I'm
go.
outta here.
I'm going to quote you. I'm not a big fan of movies. Quote, I hate movies.
No, I don't.
You
hate is a
have said that.
strong word.
No, she said it after to her
Okay.
credit, I took her to see Hateful Eight.
I didn't hate them until we had a series of movies. Okay, we can't even discuss Hateful Eight. That was 4.5 hours long with an
Oh my God,
intermission.
that movie was like this.
It was brutal.
It went by like
It was
this.
it didn't.
Oh,
It was
love that
crawling.
movie.
It was
Oh, come
awful.
on.
I was
She goes,
like
it's the intermission. She goes,
fantasizing.
There's an
about
intermission?
stabbing
That's
myself.
not over?
Have you not seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Oh yeah,
There's
for
an
sure.
orchestral
I've seen that.
intermission in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I guess I'm going to go pee. That's
I
crazy.
love. Okay, there are movies that I love that like
Let's
7. Okay.
Yeah. Great movie.
Pulp Fiction, of course. Reservoir
Club.
Dogs.
What's the
Fight
last?
Club. Oh
what's
man.
the last movie that's been made after Celluloid that you've seen?
I'm
Like a
probably
recent movie.
Hateful Eight in the theater.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't see Rocket Man, you didn't see the Queen movie, you didn't see.
Oh, I love the Queen
Queen
movie,
movie,
but I didn't see that in the theater.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't? Did you see Stars Born?
Love that. That
Okay.
movie hurts.
See,
I can't
okay, so
watch
you've seen
it.
some of my.
Hurts. It's
What else have you
painful.
seen that I've been in?
She-
I don't care about all these other movies. I'm just getting to
Were
my
you in A
career.
Star Is Born?
Yeah, he
I was
was.
Bradley's
What?
driver
He's a
in the
driver
movie. I
for
was
the-
the
yeah.
driver.
Oh my God, that was you.
Yeah, that's my career.
Are you kidding
That's
me?
my career. It's constantly like, oh God, yes,
Okay,
the guy
here's
eating Cheetos.
I
that
do
was you.
remember
Here's
that you
mine.
were in that.
So what are you doing now?
Oh,
I always
dude.
go, I'm a roofer. I got my contract.
Seriously?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Actually-
if someone's that much of a dick, I'm like, you know what I
Actually,
do
we
is construction.
commented on when you came on screen. We were both like, "Hey, there's excellent movie."
Thank
Did
you.
love
Funny
that.
story about that movie. First of all, Bradley Cooper and I were on Alias together. That's how I did that
Right.
movie because we're old friends, and
I
he's
saw something. I
he's the
forget how
greatest.
long he's been famous.
I want to hear the story.
my
I always
God.
think he's
This is
new,
gonna be a
and then
story.
and then he's been famous for a really long time. Go ahead.
so. But Lady Gaga, I have no
Yeah.
idea. I mean, I'm a huge fan of her
Yeah.
music and her and what she stands for. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be amazing. But she's going to be a crazy diva. It's going to be. She was the greatest. So down to earth. So I thought she did a great job.
Yep.
She was
Like,
awesome.
really
amazing.
great.
Awesome.
Shockingly so.
Yeah, shockingly so. We chatted a little bit or whatever. But that scene when we're in front of that supermarket and she's singing for Bradley and
Yeah.
I'm standing there way off camera, but not as far, in the perspective of the lens.
Right.
And I'm standing there and she's singing, right? So I'm like turning back every time she starts singing. I'm turning back and he's like, stop turning around, and I'm like, am I not going to turn around? The driver hears this
Right.
beautiful voice. She goes, anyway, that's funny. Then
Wait.
she-
The director was like,
Of
"Don't."
course you would react.
Bradley was like, he just didn't want me on my shot. It was their
Right,
scene.
right, yeah.
But when he come back to me, he was like, I just want to get you eating the Cheetos, which is funny, right? We got that. But then she starts just belting. It's
Yeah.
I
between
get that.
takes, whatever. She's
You're
just,
used to it. I get that you're used to it.
she's beautiful, beautiful voice. She's
Yeah.
singing.
Yeah.
It's 3 a.m. in Echo Park.
Wow.
So from down the street, we hear, shut the fuck up! This person has no idea that it's Lady Gaga.
Did she burst out laughing?
No, yes, we were all like, this is the whole
That's
crew was
awesome.
like,
That's
like,
fucking
right?
awesome. So I got a quick story, and I've never done this before. As a joke I wrote a Lady Gaga joke 10 years ago. The joke was Lady Gaga's proof that David Bowie raped Carol Burnett. So okay, now brutal, right?
That's
Brutal
brutal.
joke. Now this is her poker face time. I would like to say on the record that she has proven herself to be like one of the most talented musicians that we've had in the last 5 decades.
By far.
Yeah, and hard working. Jesus. She makes Kevin Hart look like he doesn't work hard enough.
It's just so true.
So
She's amazing.
She's just incredible.
She's awesome.
Shout out, little teaser. So I'm trying to raise as much money for epilepsy as I can this year.
Let's talk about your charity. Yeah, let's talk about that.
But we're doing this thing right now. It's at Omaze. If you don't know what Omaze is this machine that raises money using celebrity experiences. And like George Clooney has one right now. And like you can be a +1 to a premiere. I'm doing my +1 to Star Wars I'm going to put on there.
Oh, that's cool to sell it.
Yes.
Right.
And they do a lottery. So, or a,
Oh, cool.
like you can buy a ticket.
What's that? Is it up there? What's it up to right now?
So I haven't launched mine yet
All right,
because
all right.
it's at the end of the year.
Okay,
but
guys, by the way, so if you want to go see the Star Wars premiere with Greg Grunberg, it's going to be up pretty quick.
I'm putting the money
Omaze.
in.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
in.
No, I just did a calculation.
You're not going. I'm going. Even if you win, I'm going.
Exactly.
You're not good. You're looking like
No, but you buy an opportunity. So you buy like they throw, and they just pick
It's like a lottery
name.
thing.
It's a
Got
lottery
it,
thing.
got it.
But right now, omaze.com, OMAZE.com/Jen. My old friend Jennifer Garner is on there. they'll fly you, put you up in LA, and you get to bake cookies with Jennifer Garner in her kitchen. And it's like, and she was like, yeah, I'll do that. It's raised so
Is
much
that
money
for
already.
epilepsy?
And for epilepsy, because she's known our family and
Very cool.
Yeah. And my son. So my son, Jake, has epilepsy. He's 23. He started having seizures when he was 7. He's under control. He's doing great. And he's an example of somebody that if you have the right treatment, if you're listening to your doctors, you go to the right doctors and you take your medicine on time, take a nap, have some amazing, I think, exercises. The key. He does taekwondo like no one's business. He's like
awesome.
Yeah,
I got a black belt in taekwondo.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
so
taekwondo's
he's
awesome.
testing for 2nd degree in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
And this is with medication that's supposed to slow the synapse and the firing of your brain. So I'm so proud of him, and he loves it. And as you know, you're just sweating like crazy.
Yeah.
It's great. So anyway, trying to raise as much money as possible. So Jennifer is helping out. And then we have a little Lady Gaga thing coming. She agreed to do something which is going to be nuts.
That's awesome. Omaze, is it called Omaze?
Omaze. O-M-A-Z-E.
Omaze people, if you want to be part of it and help out.
Where can they go to find out what the new URL will be for yours and Lady Gaga? Will it be on your website?
It'll be on Twitter at Greg Grunberg. And then also Omaze does a huge thing. That's part of their thing. They take a small percentage, but they take a percentage for running the whole campaign.
Right.
Yeah.
And bringing people out and setting the whole thing up and whatever. But it'll be on there.
So here's what I want you to go over real quick, because every time I have you or I'm near you or have you on something, I want you to talk about it. If someone goes into a seizure, what do you do? Because the problem,
oh my God, I love you so much.
Because in the world we live right now, people just back away like, whoa. We've been told, don't move them, don't touch anybody. I want to know if someone goes into an epileptic seizure, let's know what to do so that we get them safely out of it or to a place where we can get them some help.
So this is why I love you guys so much. I'm early here. Guess who's early? Every time I ask, will you do something for me? Will you show up? Will you be there? This guy shows up before anybody else. You've always been there for me and supported me in my charity.
Yeah, me, Jennifer Garner, and Lady Gaga.
No, dude. No.
Yeah, with the
How many times can you go to the well? How many times can you go to the well? You can't.
True, that's true.
And every single time I ask you, you're like, yeah. I mean, yes, our man caves are very close to each other. Yeah. But still, dude, I really, really mean it. You're real fucking deal. And just as you know, my wife and I have held our son. He's having thousands of seizures. I mean, it's like, it's the worst. And I'm just trying to help people in this community. And it really is a personal thing, but it could be anything. You just are always like, I trust you. And I feel the same way about you. If you're like, hey, we're talking about if you're like, yeah, I want you to do one way a day on this thing. I'm like, I don't even need to see it. You want me to be, I'm there. I mean, really.
By the way, please, everybody, keep this video because it may get destroyed.
Oh, God.
I want to get a copy of it so I can go,
My agent's calling me. What did you say on Titus?
It's all over.
Right
it's all over. Titus is putting it out everywhere.
That's his agent calling right now.
Exactly.
Actually. He's like, stop.
Okay, so here, I'm glad you asked. So the basics are, if someone's having a seizure, they are not going to just go boom and start shaking. It just doesn't happen that way. Seizures start off with, like, I'll repeat myself, and then the head starts bobbing like this. So you have time to go, dude, you okay?
Yeah.
Or, she's doing that and you can go, it's like they're repeating themselves. It's a brain thing.
It kind of creeps in a little bit.
Yes.
And there's some warning time.
A little bit. It could be 5 seconds, but it's enough to go, hold the person, because the fall is what's going to hurt them.
Right.
The seizure, 99% of the time, is not going to hurt them. It's the trauma. It's the hitting the head. It's all of that. So what you do is you take them down to the ground if you're there in time, and you put them on their side. Why? Because if you're on your back and you're shaking and whatever, and even saliva can choke you. You cannot it can block the airway. So you put them on their side. Sometimes people will throw up, they'll urinate out or whatever. Totally, I hate to use the word normal, but it is in a seizure situation.
Not life-threatening. If you get them on their side, it's okay. Look, it's a seizure. It's still a seizure. It's not normal, innocent, but it's a normal seizure.
Yes.
If they pee themselves or they vomit, that's just part of the seizure. Just get
the body releasing.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's your brain, right? Right now, these 2 points, there's electricity between them, and I'm talking to you. I'm thinking about what I'm saying. I'm talking to you. This electricity is going like this. Dr. Drew is the one who put it in this way, and it's so smart. And all of a sudden, boom, the seizure happens. Now, electricity is going here. Electricity is going here. Every part of your body is being told to do something, and that's what it is. That's all it is. And then it goes, finds itself again, and now you're fine. And it usually takes under 2 minutes. If it lasts longer than 2 minutes, or it's really rhythmic, Like there's been times it's called status, and it's really scary, where all of a sudden the seizure, instead of it just being jerking and then slowly slowing down, it's just
like locked in a loop.
Yes, that's scary. That's like, okay, what do we do? And there are things that you can do. Jake wears this thing. It's a device. It's about this size, and it's under the skin, and there's a wire that's connected to his vagal nerve, and it's called VNS therapy. People can go to vnstherapy.com and check it out. And it's a vagal nerve stimulator. It detects his increase in heart rate, which like dogs can sense when someone's having a seizure because they sense, oh, something's wrong. They're trained that way. Anyway, this thing, and it'll zap his vagal nerve. He doesn't even feel it. You don't see it. But all of a sudden, the seizure could stop. I have a magnet that if I get there in time, and it's the right intensity of seizure, and I swipe the magnet over, it'll jolt it. It'll give him a jolt. And there have been times when he's having a seizure, and I go like this, and he goes, what's up? What happened?
Wow.
I mean, that's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. And
I just want to say the takeaway from that is if someone starts to do what Greg just said, get him on the floor. Very important because like you said, people that do have seizures a lot of times do get life-threatening injuries from the fall, right? Yeah. From cracking their head.
If you're susceptible to a seizure too, don't hang out with your buddies on the stairs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
like
a good
Jake
point.
did. Jake was in high school one time and they're all just hanging out like it's like a scene in Grease. Let's hang out. And they're all on the stairs, right? So Jake's standing here are the stairs. He starts having a seizure and he fell not just this far, cracked his head. I mean, we almost lost him because he had bleeding in the brain, and it's bad. It was called a contra coup injury.
I got to teach him leadership qualities. Hey guys, come on, we go sit down on the benches.
Your drunk uncle at Christmas might wonder why you keep lying him down on the floor, but better to be safe than sorry.
Absolutely, and free hugs. When I talk to schools and stuff, these kids are all about free hugs. Let's hug each other. Yeah. Guess what? If someone starts having a seizure, give them a hug.
Yeah.
Take them down on the ground, and then the next thing is put something soft under their head, like your jacket or something, whatever, or make sure they're just not scraping their head.
Yep.
Don't yell at them because they're out of it. Yeah. They're having a seizure.
Really, it's like he's just switching. He's not even aware. Like when your son wakes up, he says, what happened?
Yes, or he wakes up and he's super groggy. We had a guy on the set of Heroes where this electrician, he had a diabetic episode. He didn't take his medication, didn't have breakfast. He got there way early.
See, it's a problem.
Exactly. I'm starving right now.
Right.
And he went down, this huge dude, and he went down, he's having a seizure. And we're downtown shooting the finale episode that he blocked off the streets. All these cops, no one knew what to do. I rush over to him, and he's laying there. He's having a huge seizure. And there's a guy who's taking his wallet and trying to stick it in his mouth. And here is the myth. People think that you can swallow your own tongue, and you're supposed to open up the airway by sticking something. Never stick anything in anyone's mouth that's having a seizure. Not your hand, nothing. It is a myth. Everything tenses up, including your tongue. So you're not going to swallow. There's no way. It's not going to happen. So don't do that. Put them on their side and let them ride the seizure out. Now you can talk to them. You can go, like if Jake's case, I'll be like, Jake, you okay, buddy? If it starts coming out of it, because hearing the voice sometimes will bring them out of it a little bit quicker.
Help their brain starts to adjust to it, try to figure out what's going on. Okay.
And the scariest thing with epilepsy, and this is why we're racing right now to find a cure and for devices and everything, is called SUDEP, sudden unexpected death in epilepsy. And that's what just happened to Cameron Boyce, this amazing actor, Disney actor. He had a seizure in his sleep. And I don't know if you heard about it. I'm sure you did. And he had a seizure in his sleep. He had epilepsy. I'm sure he talked about it with friends and family and stuff. But that's something that like SIDS with a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
And so who knows if he was into his pillow having a seizure or whatever. But it's very, very scary.
So he didn't get rolled over on the side. Something
happened. But also, sometimes when you're sleeping, the brain, it's all electricity. So the brain tells the heart, stop. Like that's part of the seizure, maybe. Maybe it's affecting the electricity.
What information is going where?
And a lot of doctors and epileptologists don't talk about that. And they'll say, you don't want to know because there's nothing we can do. Even if it happened in a hospital and we use the paddles, that's it. The body says that's it. I don't agree. As a parent, I want to know.
Right.
What is the connection between strobing light, things like that?
It's just a trigger. So everybody has their triggers of.
Didn't you tweet something out like there was some movie that was doing? Didn't you get mad about something recently?
Yes.
Yeah, it was something. It was not that long ago. You were pissed off about some movie.
I was pissed off at Miley Cyrus for putting out her thing on Twitter. It was like, Miley's coming or whatever the name of the album was, and it was like this flashing thing. By the way. that
And all these kids are looking at their phones.
yes, there's a guy who got put away because he was sending that out to people with epilepsy, that flashing type, because he knew, and it caused seizures. It was
Wait, they
causing
put him in
seizures.
jail?
On purpose.
Oh yeah, no,
he was doing it?
it's like being a terror. It's like sending something in the mail.
Awesome.
to harm you.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
Good.
Kurt Eichenwald, who if you don't
Yeah,
follow
There's
Kurt,
sentences for being
He-
a fucking douchebag. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
they
I
went
love
after
that.
Kurt because he's an anti-Trumper, and that whole community, they were like, "Fuck him," and they sent him these things. And he, being the guy that he is, he went to the courts and he got a thing, and they brought the guy in, and the guy got charged. I mean, that's like
Awesome.
sending a bomb to someone's house.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. You're trying.
Yeah.
Well, you're actually literally trying to cause physical harm to people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you're
It's
doing.
interesting. Like
Did Miley
in
Cyrus pull
general,
She didn't pull it. What did she do? Oh, she unpinned it.
thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. There you go. Good job.
know, it's
Thank
like-
God. So it's not the first thing we see. We have to
Right.
search your site.
You probably saw. I was like, "Thank you, Miley." I don't know her, and I've heard she's the greatest. I was like, "Thank you for doing this. This really means a lot." And then someone was like, "Dude, it's just 4 posts down." I'm like, no, it's just so insensitive. It's so not necessary. It's like,
Right.
That whole idea of turning people over on their side in general. So River Phoenix from drug use was seizing,
Yeah.
and the whole time that his brother Joaquin was on the phone making that 911 call and trying to figure out what the address to the Viper Room was, because it's not there. Even now, there are no
Yep.
numbers posted over the door.
Oy.
He was on his back on the street corner in front of the Viper Room and choked on his own vomit.
Yeah.
So this pretty
You
much got, by the way, anyone have a seizure, anyone upside down,
Anyone drunk?
puking, drunk, out of their mind. Let's just go with an overall rule. Turn them on their sides.
Hugs.
Yeah. How about that?
Let's
Give
just overall-
hugs.
Someone's
Give
on the
hugs.
ground. Hug them.
One leg over the other. One leg straight, the
Yeah.
other's over in
To
bent.
hold.
Yeah,
That's
Like a
it. They're-
kickstand to hold them up. Like, let's turn them, kickstand them, and we're good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so simple. They're basic. And, that's where talkaboutit.org. That's my foundation. People can go to talkaboutit.org and you'll see every celebrity in the world on there. I think you're on there because I've asked you to do talk about it.
You, dude, your level of celebrity is a little different than welcome to the podcast.
Anyway, so thank you for letting me mention all that. That's
It's important.
That's the
for
most
people,
important
people,
stuff.
it's education. People just don't know.
It's also
Yeah.
If they learn nothing else from today other than get them on the floor and roll them on their side, how many lives could you save just from that? You
We-
just need to go on a lot more podcasts that have 17 listeners, and eventually,
we have
Exactly.
way more than
You
17
do.
listeners.
You do.
I think.
If
Um,
Epstein was on his side instead of in a noose.
There
Exactly.
you go. Had he not been hanging off the bed frame.
he'd be alive to tell the story.
But everybody had taken a break and was sleeping,
Right.
so they couldn't help him.
in a DOJ facility, just want to lay on that for a second.
With the most important
By the
guy
way,
we've had.
I can't be the only one who's actually thinking this. I kind of went along with it. I was like, yeah. No, what is a DOJ facility? I don't understand. Why is it a
it's
DOJ?
run by the Department of Justice. I guess.
as opposed to what? Aren't they all?
I don't think so. Some of them are
no,
private prisons.
Oh, some of
most
them are
prisons are
private prisons,
privatized.
yeah.
A
Oh,
large
yeah.
majority.
So
You'll
he
have
was-
some federal.
Okay, so
So he was
Yeah.
literally where like they and again one of the most important guys with more information. Like, it's so obvious they just took his ass out.
Yeah.
Or they'll be state run. But this
But
one
again,
was very directly linked to Barr, whose father employed Epstein to be a teacher of
Did you know this?
children
yes,
Okay, good.
after he got
Yeah.
it's
convicted
crazy. And
of-
by the
with
way,
no
this-
degree. Okay, so Epstein. So William Barr's father hired Epstein for the school that he was the headmaster of to teach 17-year-old boys and girls physics with no college degree.
If someone had just taken the audio away from that moment and played Lady Gaga to it,
Yeah,
it
Yeah,
would've
there you
been-
go.
There was a beat. You
If
can,
Epstein's
you can.
father-
Exactly.
I just.
And by the way, if you put music on, he couldn't dance that well.
I did Eminem that a bit.
Oh, you need to see him dance at the Prince party.
I know.
I
I'm
will.
coming.
It's legendary,
coming.
his
I'm coming.
dancing at the
Me
Prince
and
party.
Tony Horton looked damn good.
Tony Horton.
By the way, has Sheila ever come to the Prince party?
Sheila.
Sheila is a very good friend of mine.
well,
and
she's
she
coming.
will
She's-
lose her shit.
He will lose his shit if you get her to come because
Okay, so I have a Prince story.
Yeah,
Did I ever
I'll-
tell you this Prince story?
everyone has
You have a
to tell
Prince
their
story.
Prince
By the
story.
way-
No,
on
I have the
podcast.
best. No one's
in front
Prince
of the
story.
picture, by the way.
Yeah, no one has a better Prince story. I am a huge Prince fan. Speaking of people with epilepsy, he had epilepsy as a kid,
Mhm.
and I befriended. I was doing a thing with Kim Whitley. You know Kim,
Okay.
Kimmy. Kim Whitley's so incredibly talented. It was me, Kim Whitley, and Don Rickles. We did a pilot together. And,
wow.
Yeah, dream.
How was Rickles to work with?
The greatest. Talk about letting the camera roll after it was like cut. And we knew cut meant keep the camera rolling. Because he was like, was that all right? I was okay. This guy needs a sandwich. Look at this guy. I mean, he just went around
he would
the
just
crew.
Rip everybody.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And JJ, it was me and JJ, we created a thing. It was called The Catch. And it was me as a bounty hunter.
We read about this, yes.
Yeah. And anyway, it was great. Kim Whitley. And she says, hey, the NAACP awards are happening and Prince is playing the show. And then he always has this after party at this house on Mulholland. Do you want to come? And I'm like, what? Yes. Wow. So I call up my best friend in the whole world, JJ Abrams. We've known each other since before. He's my brother.
Are you tired of people bringing that up in interviews?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to. You have a cool dude that you knew that had the
Do they ask him about you?
Yes.
That's see, there you go.
Of course.
Exactly.
He wouldn't be where he is today without my bit parts. I mean,
there
come
you
on.
go.
It doesn't matter. You guys were best friends since you were kids,
it
right?
Sounds less
since we're
convincing.
4.
So he wouldn't. He
bit.
actually kind of wouldn't be where he is without you being his bud.
Yes.
Because
no question. No, he's all this other stuff. It doesn't matter. It's just he's been there for me. You can imagine the stuff that we've gone through with our kids and our family, and I'm there for him. Everybody's got shit. Everybody's got something. And you need a good friend like that, and he's been that for me many, many times.
So
anyway,
going to the party.
So I call JJ, and I'm like, he's like, we got a 6 a.m. call time tomorrow morning, and we're shooting Alias, and I'm like, I don't give a shit what we have. He goes, no, these parties are notorious. Like you. So I call Kim. Kim goes, oh, by the way, here's the instructions. Party starts at 1 a.m.
Yep.
And I was like, 1 a.m.
Yep.
The the award show stops, ends at 9. He's like, it doesn't matter. So anyway, we're going. So house on Mulholland, the address, 3121.
Of course.
Just so you know, that's
why he leased that one was because
No. For the album, he released that house and then wrote the album there, and that's why it was called 3121.
The house, I think, had 4 bedrooms and 21 bathrooms.
Yeah,
not exaggerating. It was crazy.
It was a he released. There's a story about the house too. Go ahead, finish.
So okay, so we get invited. We drive up there, and we were early.
Surprise! That's a big.
We were there, whatever, 12:30, quarter to 1, or whatever. Yeah. And there's just an SUV, 2 dudes sitting in the SUV, and it's at the gate. And we pull up, and I'm like, are you sure? Yo, man, what's up? And I was like, yeah, we're here there's a party. Prince is having a party. And he goes, what's your name, man? And I go, Greg Grunberg. He's like, okay. He looks on the list. He's like, all of a sudden the gate, he has a remote, right? The gate opens. We drive up and there's, valet or whatever, but it's not a mansion.
Right.
It's a normal house. We go in. And there's a pool table. This is the greatest fucking story. And we go in, and there's a pool table. JJ and I get a drink. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is Jamie Foxx. Oh, okay. And we keep walking. And Joni Mitchell, who lived down the street, is playing. Yeah, my jaw dropped, too. She's playing pool. She's like, you want to play pool? I'm like, yes. So then Kim comes over. Oh, honey.
It sounds like a weird dream. And then Joni Mitchell asked me to play pool.
Yes.
It sounds like a dream.
So much better.
And you wake up and go, let me tell you about the dream.
And he was there, and you were there. And you were there. Totally Wizard of Oz. Anyway, so
playing pinball with Abe Lincoln. It was a weird.
That guy cheats. That motherfucker.
Totally. He keeps bumping.
Oh my God! And he's got extra coins in his beard. I fucking hate him. So I'm like, we're like, what is going on here? And Kim comes over and she goes, Sheila is a huge fan of yours. She wants to meet you. She loves Alias. She's loved Alias at the time, that show more than me. Anyway, and I said, well, J.J. Abrams is here. He created the show. What? The two of them see each other. We start talking. She's so wonderful. Like, so great. She's coming. If you let me bring 3 or 4 people.
Oh, yeah.
Let you.
Okay, good. No, it'll be amazing.
This is like his dream come true right now.
So, the band. The living room. It's the living room. It's a fucking living room, and there's instruments, and no one's playing.
So it's not this massive house.
No, it's a living room, dude. And I'm like standing there going,
a house party.
House party, and there's a couch, whatever, and all of a sudden, some guys get they start playing, and there's no one I recognize. It's just his band, and they're incredible, as you can imagine.
Yep.
And they're just playing. They're playing. The bass player play a couple songs. They stop. Guy comes up. I go, oh my God, you're the best. And I'm a drummer, but I was like, you're the best bass player. And I said, hey, I have a question for you. What happens if you don't want to play? It's like 2 a.m. now. I go, what happens if you don't want to play at 2 a.m? He's like, well, then you don't play with Prince, man. That's what he said. I was like, interesting. So then they go back up and start singing. Then somebody gets up. This woman starts singing. So she starts singing. All of a sudden, through the party, Prince. and it's a living room.
He floats, doesn't he?
So floats.
Yeah.
Walks through, grabs his guitar, and he's playing, and JJ and I are standing there. We're like, what is going on? He starts doing songs, one song I don't know, then another song, and then a cover, and then this, and he plays I don't know what he play, like, Little Red Corvette or something. We're just in a living room watching Prince play. Okay. Then we hear and I look over and they've walked Stevie Wonder.
No.
It gets better. Walk Stevie Wonder up to
this didn't happen, dude. You're just telling us a dream you had. This is
JJ, not. You can verify this with JJ. And Stevie Wonder's like, I'm so locked. I'm not looking at who was at the party and who's walked in. And again, it's not a mansion. It's a living room. And he's playing, and then it's like, and they start playing together, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I hear a keyboard solo, and I'm like, he's not playing. Who's Herbie Hancock?
They just left the NAACP Awards, and everybody wants to go to Prince's house.
Yes.
So everybody in the world who's ever been...
Yes.
Holy shit.
And
it's a house full of legends. You got a house party with legends.
And I still haven't turned around. Okay. And they're playing this song and I'm like, oh yeah, oh, hey. And all of a sudden an arm comes around me, a guy here, and he's like, doo doo ba doo boo. And it's Morris Day from the time.
Oh my God.
JJ and I are like, what is going on?
Oh my God.
Then I look back, Oprah and is on the couch next to what's her name? She's so brilliant. Christina Aguilera. Like everybody was there. They went on and on and on and on. We had to leave. We had to leave before, Anyway.
Yeah, you had to work.
I had to go to work. We had to go to work. I literally went from there. I think I stopped at home and, I took a sweat shower like you. And then I was like, anyway, greatest night of our lives.
Wow.
And then since then, a huge donation was made to the Epilepsy Foundation. We didn't know who. No one claimed it. No one, because he never
claimed any of his
after he died, we heard stories that people got checks, and the caveat was you don't tell anybody who got this from. No one knows. I love that about
his
that.
His audio engineer in Minneapolis.
Because I have a publicist that just handles my donations. No, make sure everybody knows.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Exactly.
It's me.
The checks have your big face on.
Totally.
It's
but
me.
the guy that's his audio engineer, we've worked at this theater for years, and we always talk about Prince. That's all we talk about. We're obviously diehard. Yeah. And finally, this year was the first time ever, after everyone left the theater, we were standing on the stage, and he goes, well, the guy I worked for years is Prince. And we're like, how could you not tell us? Oh my God. And that's what he said. He said he only would work from 2 a.m. on. That's when you got the call. And if you didn't take the call, then you didn't play with Prince.
So do you remember he played a residency in Vegas for short in that small theater?
Yeah.
At the Rio, right?
At the Rio. Small theater.
Which I always thought was a weird choice.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't go see it, but I remember it happening.
So Kim was like, Prince wants you to come. He saw me at that party. He saw me, he saw JJ, he saw everybody. I mean, he was playing. I'm not kidding you, dude. He was this close to us, playing this close. So she said, he's playing Vegas. He wants you to come. We're all going to go. Jack Coleman, who was on Heroes with me.
Right.
Jack is really good friends with Sheila. So now we're all friends.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth and I go on it's Vegas. Yeah, let's jump on a plane. We go to the plane. We go to the show. And then after the show, somebody comes by and they go, hey, just hang out. Just don't go anywhere. And there were, how many people in that room? There must have been, 300, 400, not a huge house.
Right.
They all leave. And then this person comes and takes me and Elizabeth past the stage, through the kitchen, into another really small room. And there's a band set up. And they're going to play another 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
They do. It doesn't. And he walks through and he's like, hey, man. And he says hello to me, which I was like, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Dude, he did not disappoint. And I literally just said hello to him. He walks up, plays, and then I literally turned to Sheila and I go, we have to go. We have a plane. We got to go back. We have a family. She goes, you can't leave. You can't leave. I mean, it wasn't like a ton. It was just me and Jack and whatever and his wife. Anyway, she goes, well, say goodbye to him, before you leave. I'm like, okay. This is the greatest. This is my memory. It's the worst and the best at the same time. So you're Prince. You're in this area, and it's kind of
my whole life, by the way. You're Prince, really? Okay.
And before I leave, and I go, I just want to thank him. And I'm so nervous that I had tunnel vision. I didn't even see anybody else but him. And I went over and I was like, hey, I just want to thank you. And when I did this, there was some woman, and I pushed her. I didn't intend it intentionally. It was just one like this. And I said, thank you so much, man. This was an absolute pleasure. And he goes, only thing he ever said to me in his whole life was, dude, you're smushing her, man.
Dude, you're smushing her, man. What are you doing? And then there's a song that we gave 2 years later, You're Smushing Her, Man, which is awesome.
Don't
quit on don't smoke. You're smushing her, man.
You're smushing her,
one
man.
of those moments that you walked away from like, oh,
I was like
no.
numb. I was like, what did I?
This is my Bruce.
That was my chance.
It's my Bruce Springsteen story.
Tell me.
Because Bruce Springsteen backstage is just like that. We were
He's a dude.
so
He's a normal dude.
in LA. Who gets to come backstage to see Springsteen is insane.
I can imagine.
He did a whole bit about it.
He liked the TV show. He liked Titus, and he goes, man, that show. He said, a show, man. He goes, I'm not a big fan of sitcoms, man, but that show was art. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, oh yeah,
what?
And she's standing next to me, and I'm like, oh. And I gave him a 3-page letter about what he had done. I handed it to him. He's like, well, you want me to read this now? Nope.
He also gave him a ring.
I gave him a skull ring. Him and his wife. I get a skull ring.
Wow.
Well, I think, and then that's why we've been there a couple times before. But I think, those are the weird people that are really like giving us gifts.
We've been
exactly.
We've been 4 times, but you have to tell him that when he gave him this letter, a week later, Springsteen came off tour and called his cell phone to say he lost the letter and wanted to know what it said.
Yeah, so he calls me up. I'm driving and leaving.
Calls you up. How did he get your number?
Exactly.
He had my number from Nils Lofgren.
We're friends with Nils Lofgren.
It picks my. It says unknown. I go, hello. Hey, Titus, it's Bruce Springsteen.
Right?
And I said to him,
I'm going to call you from now on. Hey, Titus.
And I said, I go, you can't call me. I said, you can't. I go, and he starts laughing. I go, I'm driving. I go, you have to let somebody know that you're going to call someone so I can get ready. And he started laughing. He goes, and I said, so what are you doing? He goes, oh man, we're touring Europe, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit. I did a 30-minute bit about it. And he goes, hey man, I wanted you to know we got back from tour and I wanted to read that letter you wrote me and I lost it. He goes,
sweet.
He goes,
He's a nice guy.
I would have never known. He goes, what did that letter say, man? And I'm like, well, now I can fix the letter because I realized that again.
Right, exactly.
Because I walked away like, oh no, you gave him a letter, like a love letter.
Dude.
Right.
So Chad Lowe was there with his girlfriend, and we had just met them. They were very nice, and she was telling me, she goes, he is the biggest fan. I mean, like geeked out. Like he embarrasses himself every time, and I go, he wrote him a 3-page letter, and she goes, you win.
Oh my God. So did you actually say, all right, I just started off by saying this, and you talked him through the letter?
I went through all the pieces of my life. I used to do these road trips where I would listen. I remember going through Nebraska comedy gigs and listening to Nebraska during a thunderstorm and realizing, wow, if I die out here, would it be cool? Because Nebraska's such a dark album.
Yeah,
and I went through all these times in my life when the songs, and I saw them in Oakland, and then I said, the reason I wrote this is not for me. I got to meet you. I wrote this for everybody out there tonight that didn't get to meet you.
That's awesome.
I go, we all feel like this.
That's awesome.
And then he sang him a song. No.
So you guys, I'm sure, are going to see this movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What's it called?
Did you see the Broadway show too?
I
Have
did
you
not,
watched that
but
yet?
everybody in my family, we've gone
good.
to see him a bunch of times. I mean, to me, when somebody says that they love live music, and I say, have you seen Springsteen? And they say, no. I said, well, then you've never seen live
You
music.
haven't seen live music yet.
No. Even Dave Matthews. Like, I'm a huge Dave Matthews fan. They are the musicians.
Yeah.
But they don't do what Bruce does.
The show, the
There's
3.5-hour nonstop energy show.
With no pyro, with no one swinging on a wire,
Right.
no one flipping across, no spaceship
The
landing.
only special effects he has is splashing water on his legs so he can slide across the stage, which I don't even think he does anymore.
No, but he does crowd surf, which Neil said was becoming a problem because all the fans are now in their 60s
They can't hold
and
his ass
they're
up.
dropping him.
So we went and saw him. Did we see the last show at the Sports Arena or was it Staples? We went and saw him
We saw the very last show at the arena.
That's right. So we're at the arena and Springsteen crowd surfs, and at one point you see Nils flips his guitar back and runs to the stage to pull Springs out because they were dropping him.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
It's all they look like.
I know.
Agents, a bunch of older, bald, and they're doing this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, please, let's try maybe in double date.
When
he tours again.
Have you met Nils before and his wife Amy?
No,
they are the coolest people on the planet.
Oh my God.
And let's connect them both. Go online and watch when Prince died. they did the day he died. They did their first concert back. They opened with Purple Rain. Springsteen did.
Oh, wow.
And watch this. It gives me chills. Watch the solo that Nils done.
Yeah,
Okay.
And I go, Nils, I go, how did you how did you nail that? Because at one point he's so badass. Nils goes to back up. Nils not a big, in a sense he's not an arrogant dude.
Right.
And Springsteen looks at him and goes. And Nils walks back out, and it's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
We played that song, and we play it every time we play. Or my band. I have a new band, by the way.
Your new band? All right. And by the way,
that's a good
your
transition.
band should play that at the Prince party. We had a band the first year.
Oh yeah.
Now we do DJ.
Yeah, come to our party and work.
And work.
I would love to. By the way, that's the best party to me.
Because you love what you do.
I love what I do.
Yeah.
So I've had this band Banned from TV forever, for 13 years.
Right.
And I started with Hugh Laurie and James Denton and Jorge Garcia and
How
all
do
these
you
guys.
Again?
James Denton and Hugh. I love Hugh Laurie.
But he continues to tell us shit that didn't happen that he dreams. Do you take mushrooms? Like how are you connected to all these people?
Well, because I never let people go when they're good people.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so few of us. There is a lot.
That's good that you're like the litmus test. Like, if I meet somebody, but I'm meeting this guy, Greg. What do you think?
Oh, dude. And by the way, people want to join the band all the time because it's called Banned from TV, right? TV stars or people that are on TV or whatever that play music. And everybody has a charity. So mine's Epilepsy. Hugh's sister sat on the board of Save the Children.
Right.
We do cancer. We do lupus. We do all these charities. And so over 13 years, $6 million we've raised for all these charities.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm not writing those checks like you.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome.
not, I'm not writing those $13, $14 checks. I'm not.
Hey.
If
this podcast picks up.
exactly. There'll be a charity element to it.
I love that you're hanging all your hope on this.
Yeah.
Today.
That's all I got.
Yeah. So anyway, that was successful and we still have it. Banned from TV. We just played the Mohegan Sun. Have you done the Mohegan Sun?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we played. We usually played the Lion's Den. What's it called?
So you have fans that show up then. You're like, it's not like some goofy.
Well, no, usually it's like we played American Idol, we played Leno, we played all these, but then
you played an American Idol.
American Idol had a charity night called Idol Gives Back, if you remember.
Yeah.
And Terry Hatcher was in the band at that time and still is a good dear friend. And so she sang Carrie Underwood's song with Carrie right there. And it was when Desperate Housewives was really hot.
Yeah.
So they cut to Carrie Underwood's dressing room, and James Denton, because he played the plumber, he's under there fixing her, and she walks in, she's like, "You take my man, I'm taking your song." So we played Before He Cheats in front of everybody
that's
on
awesome.
American
I remember
Idol.
this. We watched this.
Yeah.
We watched this. Yes.
So it was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Hatcher." And I mean, it was like, but they cut to me and it was like, bam, bam, ba-doom, ba-doom. I mean, 75 million people, dude, and I'm playing the drums.
It's weird. You have this. You are. What was that Woody Allen movie? You are
Zelig?
Zelig.
Yeah.
There's a little Zelig
Totally.
to your life. For all these names he's popping up, I'm like, Zelig. Okay, Woody Allen did this movie.
Woody Allen is a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I thought he was just
molester
a pedophile.
of young women.
Oh, okay, I knew that.
Yeah.
I came around the
I
time he
knew
was a
that.
pedophile.
That's why you're a fan.
Filmmaker was before me.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna get back to Driver. So you played the driver in Star Is Born.
Yeah.
You were telling me when you got here that you used to drive for Joel. Like your first job in show business was not in show business. You were on the peripheral of show business.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get into show business. I was sharing an apartment with J.J. Abrams. The two of us are struggling. I mean, not struggling, whatever. We're and my day job was I want to learn from the best in the business. I want to be an actor, but at the same time, I'd driven limo because when you're an actor, you want to like wait tables or drive limo, something that you can kind of pick your time when you're going to be doing it. Yeah. So, I mean, this was before.
Personal trainer. You're a personal trainer.
Yeah, that's me. Personal trainer. But no, it was, this is before Lyft or Uber.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, I was a limo driver for 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden I heard somebody needs a personal. This Joel Silver needs a driver. And Joel Silver, for people that aren't familiar, young audience.
Big dude.
Huge producer. I mean, The Matrix and Die Hard and Lethal Weapon. And I mean, massive producer and a guy who a lot of people were scared of.
I did a pilot called Future Tense with him in Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wow. I was also.
It didn't go.
It didn't go. And you were the lead of it.
It was one of the leads.
Yeah. David Caruso did a pilot.
The guy that was on Lost actually was with the
Matt?
Naveen.
Naveen. Yeah.
This is really racially embarrassing.
No, we just couldn't remember the guy's name. If his name
it doesn't have it.
Look,
it wasn't Brian.
Exactly. I was going to say Fred Jones. I would remember. Anyway, he. So I heard that this job. So I meet with him at Warner Brothers, and he says, and this is where Steven Seagal had an office there, and Silver Pictures was there, and I met with him, and he said, "Look, I got to make sure you're a driver. You grew up in the city." I said, "No one knows the city better than I do. I know every back alley, everything. I will get you where you need to go. You just can't tell me how to drive." He's like, no, aggressive, drive the way you would drive. It was great. And then he said, "You have no ambitions of being in the business. I don't want anybody driving for me that then's going to quit." And I was like, oh, nothing. Meanwhile, I'm just.
What's the business?
Yeah.
You're like,
what business are we talking about? Anyway, so it developed. I drove for him for a year, and then then I wrote a script, and I didn't sell it, but I was writing a script, and then acting. I just kind of broke away and was doing the acting thing. But it was a great experience. He is he's a brilliant producer. He's really smart, really knows how to make a film, and really smart and everything. But he works on fear. I mean, that's the way some of these people do. Yeah, like just a screamer, a yeller and a screamer. Mm-hmm. Probably not anymore, but he was back then. And but he respected me because I just didn't take his shit. I didn't have any reason to.
Right.
What, are you going to fire me? Then you're going to get to every appointment late. And I just know how to get around. I know how to do it. So it was a great job. And the thing that I took from that, not only he brought me into every mixing session and every producer, everything, was just the fact that all these bozos, they're all just real people.
Yeah.
And so I can do it.
And they're as afraid as people who aren't working too. The weird part is you really get that there's someone above them who's a gatekeeper who's letting them yes or no.
Yes.
Who's telling them yes or no. And that's why I kind of started doing it myself. Like we shot our movie and whatever little tiny success or failure.
I've done the same thing a couple of times, dude. It's the best feeling. Yeah.
Well, it's not doing it's the best thing. Getting it done, I did it, and then you go, oh wow, it's
now I gotta sell it.
Doing well.
I know exactly. Trust me, I don't know anybody that makes money on an independent film. Anybody. I mean, it's just like,
where were you 3 years ago? Yeah,
my Big Fat Greek Wedding. I mean, she's the only one who made $300 million on a little movie. I mean, it's just the hardest thing in the world.
Especially now because everybody's making them. Everybody. If you have a camera, or if you have an iPhone. You can make a movie.
That's why I'm shooting pilots. I'm shooting my own stuff because TV, there's just such a ferocious appetite. I had a podcast. You did my podcast, and it's really, really hard. If it doesn't catch on, and mine just didn't catch on, like this caught on. Mine has. No, I did 43 episodes. I loved it, and I was, and it was Kirk Fox. Kirk,
hilarious,
the greatest,
really funny.
And Nick Marzak, who was an actor, comedian, musician, walk into a bar. People can still check it out.
Yeah.
Now I've got 2 podcasts that I'm passionate about. One about epilepsy called Talk About It, which features all these incredible doctors and stuff, whatever. And then the other one is called Corner Stories, and it features. And this one I get paid to do. I'm partnered with a big company to highlight small businesses, people that have given up everything and said, no, I don't want a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
I want a 24-hour job that doesn't pay me. I mean, that's basically what you're doing is I'm living my dream. I'm going for it. And all those stories, no matter what it is, if it's an ice cream shop or this or that, the stories are fascinating. It's all personal stuff.
That's what we do. This is not, no one's, we decided to rent a studio and everything. I got tired of? I got tired of selling stuff to people that didn't know. Like, I've been doing comedy since I was 19 years old. Guess what I know?
Yeah.
I know this is going to work. I know this is going to be funny. And I have some 23-year-old go, well, we're not going there.
I know. You're like,
okay. I mean,
if that's what shuts it down. So the idea dies with you.
Yeah. Right. If you guys knew what worked, every show would last forever. If you guys knew what worked, you wouldn't blow off 13 pilots or 23 pilots a year. It wouldn't happen.
I got one more for you. Not only do you know what works, you know what doesn't work with you.
Right. Yeah.
That's even more important.
Right. Yep.
So you censor yourself. You're like, I get it. And by the way, when something doesn't work, you're like, that was fucking stupid. I won't do that again. Right. I mean, it's like,
And by the way, the arrogance, I just got something about arrogance. So people would say I'm very arrogant to say that, but I would say, well, no, my track record makes me, I'm just schooled in it. It's arrogant that you think that I'm arrogant without having half the experience or a tenth of the experience I have. That's arrogance. That you think you know better without ever writing a script, without ever writing a joke. That's arrogance.
Yeah. And you're not going in saying, all right, this is a show about 14-year-old guys on the internet. And you're going in with stuff this is your wheelhouse. This is what I know. I know comedy. I know situations. You made a movie. I mean, it's like you've already taken a chance on yourself.
But you too, though. Yeah. And by the way, being close to your friend, like, is he, because at first he got hired to direct stuff, right? And
he wrote first. First he wrote, that was, we were sharing an apartment, and he sold Regarding Henry and Forever Young and made $2 million on a script. And
Forever Young.
I'm gonna get a house.
He wrote Forever Young.
Oh yeah, he wrote Forever Young. And with Joe Mazurski, this first thing he ever did was Taking Care of Business with Charles Grodin and Jim
Now, when
Belushi.
he went to that house, did you stay in that apartment?
No, I found my own place.
Okay.
Yeah, I had moved out, but we would see each other every day, talk every day. I mean, it was just one of those things where we were both at this place, and he just took off. I mean, he's so incredibly talented. He's just, talk about like Prince has.
Everybody at his place. I've auditioned at
Bad Robot?
Bad Robot a couple times, and everybody's really cool. It's never a weird situation. You never feel
My son works there.
Yeah, you never feel like, sometimes you go to auditions and there's a vibe, and it's always, it's crazy there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most creative space.
And one of the funniest, the sign out front, I'm not going to tell it because everybody don't know it. It's the funniest building. I'll tell you off.
Well, the sign on the building.
Yeah.
And also, what about right when you press the buzzer, what it says?
Oh, I forget what it says there.
It says, "Are you ready?"
Yeah.
Which is like, just don't go through the door unless you're ready.
Yeah.
But like people say to me, they're like, "Wow, God, it's like, is it ever going to happen for me?" I said, look, the longer you're standing in line and not getting the opportunity you want, the better you get.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at that. Look at the upside of it. You know, I know you're waiting tables, and I know you're driving Uber, but you're still getting better and better and better, so that when that door opens, you're fucking ready.
Yeah.
You have the same thing I have. I tell people all the time, how do you make it Hollywood Titus? And I've made it, and I go, oh, okay. Here's what you keep banging your head against the wall. You just keep banging your head, and the people that don't make it, they walk away from the wall.
Yes, exactly.
They just walk away from the wall, and like, no, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm like, get cracked. Right? There's a crack right there.
And by the way, please walk away.
Yeah.
That line gets shorter for me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I have had that. I've had people. I've seen people have like died weirdly.
he
like,
does this
and
all the
I'm like,
time.
hey, I just moved up too.
Mm-hmm. So I'm driving Joel after an award show, and Joel Silver, Madonna, Schwarzenegger, Cindy Crawford, Bruce Willis, Demi Moore, all in the car with me.
Holy crap.
And I'm on Mulholland. I'm driving on Mulholland. And I'm like, wow, he doesn't know I want to be an actor. I'm like, I could just, you could just do this, that move where you open the door, you roll out, and the whole car goes out. That just opens up so many opportunities for me
Massive.
as an actor.
Massive.
Do you know what I would help if I just opened the door and did it wrong?
Oh my God. Crazy.
Just your really good people like screaming from their diaphragms, really projecting, really good projecting. We are going to die!
Yeah.
All these actors.
Scream to the back of the car. Back of the car.
Madonna screaming beyond key.
Right.
Beyond.
No, the things, people are always like, the craziest stories in the world. Joel never drank, never did drugs, always just a workaholic.
Yeah.
And
was he happy though? Was he happy?
I think he was happy with the work. He didn't really have too many close friends at that time. Now he's got a beautiful family and he's doing great. He was just a workaholic. He was rightfully so. Can you imagine? You have 4 movies going at the same time, and you're working on TV shows. I mean, it
doesn't make like, I'm so glad I met Ray, because it doesn't make any sense if you're just beating yourself to death. I think Coppola said once, don't wait to have kids because they will force you to be successful.
Absolutely
have a family,
true.
because if you commit to something and then you have to.
Yes.
There's no gonna one day. I mean,
people say that like babies bring success.
Yeah.
It's like, no, babies bring
fear and desperation.
Yes, exactly. So you are pushed to succeed.
Exactly.
You don't have an alternative.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what are you working on now? What?
So I just finished season 2 of Castlerock, which is on Hulu. Really cool season. Lizzie Kaplan and Tim Robbins, and I play the. I don't even want to tell people what I play. I can't really talk about it. But it's a really cool. It's Stephen King. I don't know if you know about the show, but it takes place in Castlerock.
Prince, Stephen King, Prince, Springsteen, Stephen King. Those are my
Really?
three. Those are my three.
Oh my God! So did you see season 1 of that show? Because you'll love it. What it is it's in Castlerock, and all the Stephen King characters from all his movies and TV and books, they all come through this town. So season 1 was a combination of Shawshank and something else. And then this season is I can't tell you, but it's a combination of these two other.
So like American Horror Story,
and-
they're the stories that you get. Oh, that's awesome.
It's
Especially he's only written 4,000 books, 4,200, 4,235.
Is it the original actors that
No.
play? Oh,
but
so
they're
it's
playing
different.
they're playing those same characters, but maybe younger.
You
like
could even
Ah.
bring the dude through. You could bring the gunslinger through from the Tower series.
Oh yeah. No. You watch season 1.
No.
You'll be like, what? It starts off at Shawshank, and you're like, what's
Tonight
going
we
on?
start binge. We have a new binge.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really good. It's really, really well done. Season 2 is massive. I can't say, but anyway.
We almost got him that
Yeah, I
time.
almost said it. I told you out there, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
not
say.
gonna tell you.
But anyway, so finish that, and then Star Wars is coming out at the end of the year, which I'm really.
Do you like
really
this new
excited
one?
about. Yes.
Because I loved the last one, and
The last one or Force Awakens?
no, I liked the last with the Last Jedi.
Because I wasn't in it. Is that why you didn't?
You
liked
there
it?
was no
He
Lex
said
in
that
it?
earlier.
Yeah, no, I was
He's
in.
not
I was in
this
Force Awakens, and then Ryan Johnson didn't bring back any of the pilots. I loved the movie too. I loved his.
Yeah,
movie.
we had so much geek arguments with our old assistant Ryan. That's why he doesn't work for us anymore. He.
If I want your opinion, I'll tell
He
it to
kept
you.
saying, "I don't get." He goes, "I don't get the Luke was." People were saying that Luke hated the thing. I go, it's the classic story. It's the classic story about the guy who's totally disillusioned by the hero he used to be.
Yeah.
It didn't fucking work.
Yeah.
The Empire's kicking ass. Now it's this new thing, and he's just, I'm not, fuck it. I'm living on an island. I'm done.
Yes. However, were you happy that all of the rules and everything about Jedi just burns up and let's just destroy it all? And I was like, what is going on? Why are we?
If she opens, she caved. She gets in the. She had it. Because Yoda says everything that was in there she already has.
Yes.
And then she opens a drawer at the end and all the books are there. She saved it.
True. That's true. That's
Do you
very
remember
true.
that?
I do remember.
Okay,
that, of course.
so
But we
it
never
didn't-
revisited the kid.
It didn't burn up. Yeah, well, that whole the whole casino, that thing.
That was like, what?
It was-
I know,
yeah.
dude. There were elements of the movie that I'm like,
Okay,
what's going on?
I think we can all agree that there was a decision made in editing. They went, no, we spent all this money on these weird animals in a casino. We built a fucking casino,
Right.
guys. That sounds like an executive decision.
We've got to show it.
Because creative people sat down and went, we don't really need this part. And some guy went, we spent $14 million on a fucking casino.
Oh, yeah.
And we have tiny people, and we've got
Dude, $14 million on craft service
Yeah.
while they were
Yeah.
shooting the casino. I guarantee you.
We have these weird camel beasts that run.
Right.
We're showing this. We are showing this. That's what happened.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, this is the end of 3 trilogies. This is the end of Star Wars.
This is it.
So I'll tell you right now.
Okay, well, by the way, right.
Well, I mean, look, they're extending it with Favreau's doing the series, so they're doing a TV series, they're doing all that stuff. But they're not going to be any. And this is what they've come out and said, they're not going to be doing films anymore. I mean, they're going to do films, but not for a long, long
Are
time.
they going to do the Solo? You can do another solo film, maybe?
No, those
Didn't do it.
maybe. But remember, they were going to do one and they canceled it because the others didn't do the.
It's a decent movie. It's a decent.
But a movie, a Star Wars movie makes $500 million, and it's a loss. It's a
they're like,
disaster.
hey, we can't do this
I
again.
want to show you.
We made $500 million. We're done.
Wait, I need to show
Before
you
you-
this.
when
Look
you-
at this, guys. You want to see something from the movie?
Holy
Holy
crap.
shit! Yeah, that was shown at Star Wars Celebration. JJ showed that.
So
And
we can actually put this. We're going to put this on the podcast.
Yeah, you can put that up.
All right. So that's wicked.
Look at that creature.
That creature's crazy.
And that's me, dude. I mean, come on. In my
I like this.
X-Wing
This is like,
suit.
what the fuck is this? Like the look on your face is.
Oh my God, I can't say anything. Remember, you just said that.
Yeah.
Don't forget that you just said that.
Okay. Really? Okay.
Yes. You'll be watching the movie and
Well,
you're
look
going to
at his
go,
thumb. He's like,
Hey!
no way. Isn't that
That's
great?
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do our little advertising right now. Who do we have today?
We have Butcher Box.
Woohoo! Brought to you by Butcher Box.
Brought to you by Butcher Box. Have you ever tried Butcher
No,
Box?
what's Butcher
before?
Box?
Oh, it's so cool. Okay, so Butcher Box, basically you can go on a subscription or not, but you can choose different boxes. It's like a farm box, but for meat. So and it's all grass-fed
Yeah,
beef.
grass-
Dude, I am
and organic chicken.
I have a Gorilla Grills smoker, an amazing. They sent it to me, so I'm going to give them a fucking plug on your show.
Right?
Gorilla
It's
Grill, the
super
best. Where you
cool.
put the pellets in,
Yeah.
keeps it. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I just made a brisket, a 9.5 hour brisket. You go on my Twitter feed, and you'll see the before and the after. Like,
So the
I
food-
love it.
So
Well,
the
you
meat-
can get that from here, and the coolest thing is they deliver it. You don't have to go anywhere.
You got to get
And you
me
can
the
design your box, and we get the chicken. The chicken's grass fed, free range, and it's like she cooks up the chicken. I actually grilled it 2 nights ago. The best chicken.
Okay,
Like,
please.
They
sense-
now
Can you hook
are
me up with these
doing-
people?
Yes.
yes, we
They
will.
now are doing salmon, and I got an email yesterday that they have scallops, like the big scallops. Now it's pretty stupid awesome. It's super cheap, and you get a ton of it. You get this whole box.
And what's it called
of
again?
meat.
Butcher box.
Butcher Box. That's
You are
really
the
smart.
Best advertising.
So
Oh,
you're-
seriously?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a subscription.
It can be,
Or you can just order the box.
Oh.
or you can.
Yeah,
So
you can just
So
order one
it's a
You can
box
try
of
it out.
mystery meat.
No.
you pick it. You
So Lady
curate
Gaga's
it.
dress isn't going to show up.
No.
It's going to actually be something I can eat.
You can go,
You can order the Lady Gaga dress box though, based on what she wore that night.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I went and did it a couple weeks ago, and you can actually click on everything that you want. You could get, this many of organic chicken and
Oh.
this many, and you actually design it. So right now you can get 2 pounds of ground beef and 2 packs of bacon for free, plus $20 off the first box. I know it's kind of stupid. It's like, so all you have to do is go to butcherbox.com/Titus or enter promo code at checkout. Shit.
So at
Or enter
checkout.
promo code Titus at check. I just
That's good.
had a
All right,
stroke.
we'll cut
I
that shit
think.
in the middle of the
Yeah.
ad.
Or-
though.
No,
We'll
No,
cut
that's a
that.
seizure.
Yeah,
I just saw it. I just saw it.
Come here.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah. Free hugs. Free hugs. Wait, so okay, so you got and at checkout, just where promo code or coupon code, whatever, put in
Titus.
Titus.
Or butcherbox.com/Titus. I usually say /Titus, but Jay Moore got all upset last week and said it's just a slash. I'm adding an extra word. So
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the other
Slash.
slash is a backward slash. Forward, it's
I
just a slash.
disagree, but the two of you ganged up on me,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I will. So go check it out, especially if you're trying to eat healthy and stuff like that. It's
That
pretty
sounds great.
badass.
Because it's good. It's good. It's good meat, and the way they raise it, we have so much. I think we have so many health problems in this country because they put all this crap in our food.
No question.
These guys, Butcher Box doesn't put crap in your food.
Also brought to you by MeUndies.
Do you like MeUndies?
Oh,
You know
this
you like
guy.
MeUndies.
MeUndies.
You like 'em.
My son did MeUndies.
Yeah.
Did he?
And he kept buying MeUndies. Like,
right.
yeah, no, they're good.
You
they're good undies.
can do a subscription with them too. You don't have to, but they will send you the new, because they have new patterns and prints that come out every week.
I'm very familiar because I had to go, Ben, 18 pairs of MeUndies? It's enough. He's like,
They sent us matching Star Wars onesies. It's
Onesies.
stormtroopers with
Wait.
disco balls.
what?
Yeah.
Full hood. onesie.
Yes, another hookup.
Yes.
Come on, guys.
I'm in it, man.
Please.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you.
I'm
can
wearing
go-
them right now, by the way, just to be
He
honest
wears.
with you.
That's all he wears now because it's that modal. So it's always cool to the touch. It's awesome.
Cool to the touch and so tight on your scrotum that it gives you that British accent. Is that what it
but
is?
yeah, it's soft. But yeah, it's soft.
Yeah, it's soft.
Yeah, it's more
It's
not
cradling
tight,
his boys.
snuggie. It's a bit of a snuggie on your buddies. I like to call it a snuggie on your buddies.
So they send us stuff a lot to try it, and I had a pineapple thong and booty socks, and he had pineapple socks and pineapple
Booty thong?
boxer shorts. No.
No, I wasn't. I didn't get the
No,
video.
So while I was gone, he met me in North Carolina for this family vacation, and he told me they sent you a bikini, and I'm thinking they don't do bikinis, but he travels all the way to North Carolina, and it's a. Did you notice it was a thong
Oh yeah.
for,
I'm sorry. What I said?
Yeah.
and a bra
Yeah.
for the
Me thongy?
family vacation?
Yeah. It
Me
was pretty-
thongy?
Yeah, me thongy.
You
I
brought
like. By the way, I like your undies
You
too.
brought it
You like
from
me
your
undies
mirror
because
on
I
the
like your undies.
it with my dad and
I
my
did.
brother.
That's right, bro. They put on. Don't care. Don't care.
Oh my
We're
God.
married. It's all right. I can look at a bum.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but they are not married to me.
That's
They're
true.
related.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Grandma
You didn't wear
was
it.
there.
You didn't wear it.
Right.
Because
Grandma.
it was a thong.
Right.
You should have just put, what you do is you give grandma the onesie, the Superman onesie, have her put it on backwards so it covers her head and she can't see your bum.
Then
Perfect.
walk out
That
in
is the
thong.
best idea I've ever heard.
So all you have to do is you get 15% off your first order plus free shipping and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Go to MeUndies.com/Titus. That's MeUndies.com/Titus.
Everything I buy online now, I'm going to put Titus in the coupon code.
Just to see.
try it.
Sounds
Let's
like-
pray. Let's
Try
pray. Let's tell you, boom, 20%.
I just want, what I think is going to happen, I'm going to get a box. I'm going to open it. There's going to be a beautiful steak in there with a thong on it.
I would love that.
Me
actually.
undies on me meat.
Yeah, butcher box undies. What? All right, you want to do quick news?
Are we doing news?
Yeah, we'll do news
You
real
don't have
quick.
any more questions?
I do. Well, you know, it's funny, man. If you were gonna tell people, so look, you're constantly working. You've been in the biggest films. if you're going to get, 'cause so many people want to know, how do I make it in show business? How do I do it?
I got the best advice ever.
Good. I want to hear it.
So I get asked.
We don't do news. We're going to actually let Greg, by the way, now, how to stay in and succeed in show business with Greg Grunberg.
And this applies not just to show business, but to every aspect of business or anything that you want to start and you want to do it, and it's all propelled by your energy alone, is just know you are never going to succeed. It's never going to happen. You'll never make money at it, and it's not going to happen. Okay, that's what I tell people.
Zero expectations.
No, it's never going to happen. You're never going to make money as an actor. You're never going to make money as a comedian. It's not going to happen.
This is horrible.
I know. Fuck. This is what I tell people. And if they get past that, they'll be fine. That's the advice I give them. I go, you have to believe in yourself. If you're an actor, grab your cell phone and shoot yourself.
Yeah.
You're a director or a writer, shoot it. JJ says it. He's like, today, when we were coming up, 16 millimeter, we had to do it. You had to edit. No, this is a cell phone.
Yeah.
And then you can say, oh yeah, I did a TV show. No one wants to be the first person to take a chance on you.
Right.
So take a chance on yourself. No one needs to know that it's, especially today, everything. I mean, people are putting out movies. Like, where did you see it? Oh, I saw it on my watch.
I did it.
Yeah.
I put on a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like if someone would say, I could buy MeUndies and see your movie at the same place online,
right?
Because that's happening.
Yeah.
I can go to Amazon and I can watch your movie and I can buy underwear and steaks.
Right.
Like, who would have thought? Back in the day, it was like, I'm not doing anything on Amazon.
It doesn't sound super cool when you said it like that. I can watch your movie and buy underwear and steaks. What kind of world are we living in?
Exactly.
It's amazing.
You're like a flea market bizarre movie producer.
But the world has become
the worst airport gift shop ever.
No, but the world has become that store that you go, wait a minute, they have teriyaki beef and donuts? Like, what is going on? Tell me what you specialize in.
So there's a pilot that I wrote that I want to shoot. And it's a half hour, and I've been going back and forth on it. I'm like, should we shoot it? Should we sell it? Should we shoot it? Should we sell it? And I want to shoot it. I don't want to have, I have such a problem, and this is my issue, people, and this is why you don't see me on, I have such a problem with the gatekeepers. I don't know if it's an anti-authority thing, but I have this thing where I'm like, you don't know what I know about comedy. You don't know what you have the job, God bless. And then there's people that do, like Doug Hurst. Like there were certain guys. Peter Farrelly helped me on Special Unit.
Yeah, these guys
Peter
are
Farrelly
brilliant.
called. I said, "What do I do?" And I did. I took every single one of his notes because I have that respect. Oh, I know what you do. I know what you've done.
JJ, is that for me?
Yeah.
Right. If J.J. Abrams says, "Yeah, here's what you need to change," changing it,
Yeah.
delete.
And by the way, look, I had an idea. My son had a dream. Okay. And he woke up, he's having a nightmare, and I was like putting him back to sleep. I said, why don't you tell me what the dream? He said, so vivid. It was so real. I didn't use the word vivid. I used the word vivid.
Yeah.
He was 12. He was like, it was so real. It's so real. I can picture it. I can see it. I was there. I said, what was it? He goes, it was like me. I was a superhero. I'm like, oh, cool. Tell me. He goes, well, it wasn't my dream. I said, what do you mean? He goes, I was able to jump in and out of my friends' dreams and save them from their worst nightmares.
Wow.
And I said, like a dream jumper? And he's like, yeah. So all of a sudden, I'm like, don't go to sleep. Daddy's getting his computer. We're paying for college. I was like,
even I just went,
yeah. So I took that idea to JJ. I mean, who's better than Bad Robot or JJ?
Right.
And JJ goes, write a graphic novel. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm not an artist. He's partnered with somebody, write a graphic novel. So I didn't tell anybody about it, and I didn't want the gatekeepers, whatever. I partnered with a guy I met at Comic-Con.
Right.
We created Dream Jumper. Scholastic put it out.
Wow.
It was like one of the top Dream Jumper. We've now got book 2 is out, and we're hoping to make a TV series about it. But we did it. Like, you do it.
Yeah.
This is what people, that's the other thing. It's just do it.
Right.
Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
If you're going to shoot a trailer for it, you know that. I mean, like,
yeah, no,
whatever.
the movie. There's 2 movies, but this one I'm gonna.
But this is a series.
Half hour. It's a single camera half hour, and I want to do it. But here's what he's saying. So a lot of times we live this world, and we live in Gunna. I'm gonna. Okay, here's you. Here's Gunna. They just keep moving. They don't.
Gunna's a personal trainer to the stars, isn't he? Gunna.
Gunner.
Gunner. Sorry. Yeah, Gunner.
So here's.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
He's Frodo.
Yeah. Oh God, are we back? Here's December 15th. Here's you.
Yep.
Like, so
Right.
Pick a date you're going to do it by, and then do it. So here's what we're going to do. I am picking a date. We are going to film Devil's Music by December 15th.
Awesome.
You got that, Peasy?
Here's what you
looks
do not
frightened.
have. I'll look right into the camera. Here's what you do not want to have on your tombstone. The words starting tomorrow.
Amen.
Right? There it
Amen.
is.
I think that's a good way to end it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
This actually ended up being very inspirational between the two of you. It was really
Yeah,
beautiful.
it was really inspirational. Nothing's ever going to work. You're never going to make money. And if you're still okay with life being totally unfulfilled, go for it.
And I'll tell you what's on your tombstone.
Yeah, there you go. Let's end. Yeah, totally. Hey, by the way, my kind of inspirational, but not every.
I'm inspired.
We're not exactly Tony Robbinsing the whole thing right now.
No.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, dude. Amazing guest, dude. You know,
you're the best.
You know
Really
how
fun.
to do it, and all you've done. So the Star Wars movie's coming out next.
Star Wars,
Castlerock.
Pick up Dream Jumper. Check out my book.
Dream Jumper. I'm gonna go check it out. Your book.
My book, yeah, Dream Jumper. It's everywhere.
Stuff. Ombre.
Yeah, Ombre. Now Ombre. We'll see if it gets picked up. That's a new pilot I did with Gael Garcia Bernal for Showtime. We'll see.
And the band. So the new band, which we didn't even briefly, I just banned from TV.
Yep.
And then that's a charity set. And then the new non-charity real band, it's called the Action Figures. And everybody on stage has an action figure. And we're playing all the cons. So we're starting.
You're cosplaying as a band.
What?
It's like a cosplay for a band, but you're really
not
playing.
cosplay. Everybody on stage has I have 3 or 4 super action figures from stuff that I've done.
Right.
So you can't be in the band unless you.
Oh,
have
you've
an
been in
action
an
figure.
action figure.
Yeah, and because we're playing Comic Cons,
You were picturing like a Ren Fair.
I was thinking like I thought they were going to dressing up as
LARPing.
superheroes.
They're
exactly.
LARPing while they're
No, it's
playing.
the Renaissance Fair. I've got a big turkey leg.
Rock and roll LARPing. Yes.
Yeah, so that's it's called the Action Figures. They haven't announced it yet. We're doing Wizard World in Chicago, and then hopefully going all over the world.
So are these dates for both bands on your website?
Yeah, no, that'll be good. Yeah,
And again,
Wizard World's going to announce it.
Again, brilliant at selling
When
stuff.
is this coming out?
At Friday.
Friday.
At Greg Grunberg.
At Greg
on
Grunberg,
Twitter.
talkaboutit.org, my website, and my podcasts. Talk about it and corner stories. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man. Guys, for myself, Bombshell, and the amazing Greg Grunberg. Later.
Peace out.
Late.
Oh, and by the way, come see us tonight in Campbell at the Heritage Theater. Next weekend, Flappers, all brand new show, Friday and Saturday, 8 p.m. only.
That's right. We didn't whore our stuff.
And
I know. Let me whore my stuff.
The very next weekend, West Hampton Beach Performing Arts Center. Then Cleveland. Go to ChristopherTitus.com to check out all of
People,
these
all new
dates.
show stories I shouldn't tell. I got to be honest with you. This show is, it's weird. I'm still on paper, on notes, and I'm getting standing ovations. It's never happened. And by the way, if you know my life, I'm like, that's not good. Something's wrong. Something's really wrong. When I'm off notes, it's gonna tank. That's all I'm thinking. That's my brain.
You don't appreciate me. Do not appreciate me.
So guys, come see the show. It's the best one I've ever done. And thanks.
I agree.
Yeah,
It is.
It is dark though.
It's shockingly shocking.
If you have pain in your life, come mine it with me. See you later, guys. Thank you.
Later.
Everybody's Christopher Titus. Hey, thanks for listening to the Titus Podcast. Grunberg was amazing. Hey, if you want to see us this week, go to Campbell, California at the Heritage Theater, or you can see us next week at Flappers in Burbank. New show, stories I shouldn't tell. Also, if you want any of my specials, go to ChristopherTitus.com. And again, people, thank you so much.